Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto chooses Kurenai instead of Kakashi for training. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by KingSeahawk and link in the description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. The Beginning. This is going to be a story of how Naruto's life would go, in my liking, if he was adopted by Kakashi and Kurenai as their own child. I will go through some time skips throughout the series. I read a story like this, so I will give credit to the stories The Wind Fighters and The Whirlwind Fighters, both by AVAI in 1911. So credit to him for my inspiration and hope you enjoy my version. Minato. The third Hokage yelled. He had just witnessed the death of the fourth Hokage, a friend, an ally, and his pupil's pupil. Minato just sealed half of the 9 tails within himself, the other half within his son. He told Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, to make sure Naruto is remembered as a hero instead of the demon itself, knowing that it will most likely not end up that way. 2 hours after Minato's death he called in all of the Jonin closest to him to decide who gets to raise Naruto. The Jonin that were present were Kakashi Haddock, Asuma Sarutobi, Might Guy, Kurenai Ikki and Anko Mitarashi. As you know, Minato is dead and I need 2 Jonin to take care of Naruto, his son. Sarutobi said. Instantly he got looks of shock because no one knew that Minato got married and had a kid. How is that Minato's kid? I have never seen his wife or this baby boy. Anko said. I know Anko. He kept this a secret so as not to endanger anyone in his family. Remember, he is the last Namikaze that we know of and Naruto here is the last Uzumaki. That we know because their clan got massacred back in the land of whirlpools. So as I was saying, who wants to take him home and raise him as their own? Sarutobi finished before 2 people stepped up, those 2 were Kakashi Haddock and Kurenai Ikki. Kakashi, Kurenai, are you sure you want to take the responsibility to take care of the 4th Hokage's son? You can't tell anyone who his real parents are and that goes for everyone here. You are the only other people in this entire village that knows about the connection between Naruto, Minato, and Kushina. So do you accept living and working together to raise Naruto? Sarutobi said. I do, Hokage-san. Both Kakashi and Kurenai said confidently. Then it is settled, you are all dismissed. Sarutobi said. Now to get back to my damn paperwork. How I wish I knew the secret to defeat my long-time enemy. Sarutobi said. Kakashi and Kurenai decided to go to the Haddock compound since it was bigger than Kurenai's place. So where will we put him, Kakashi? Kurenai asked. He can stay in my room that I grew up in. Kakashi replied. You know the outside looks like a dump, Kakashi. Kurenai said. I know, but it's just the outside. Look at the rest of the inside of the house, it's way better looking and in better shape. Kakashi said. I guess you're right. So where will you and ISL? Kurenai started before Kakashi knew what she was going and answered here. You get the bed, I'll take the couch. Kakashi said. Are you sure I can stay on the couch? Kurenai said, not wanting to upset Kakashi. Trust me, I wouldn't mind sleeping in the same room as you, it's just that we don't know each other on a personal level that much, you know. Kakashi replied. Oh, okay, thank you. Kurenai said. No problem, just make yourself at home, tomorrow we can go around town with Naruto and act like a couple and get some more stuff for him. We're lucky we got to find his cradle that he uses. Good night, Kurenai. Good night, Kakashi. Kurenai said before sleep took over the house. Both Kurenai and Kakashi woke up to a crying Naruto. Kakashi decided to take care of Naruto and let Kurenai sleep, but she thought the opposite of him. She walked in to see Kakashi singing a lullaby to Naruto. That was beautiful, Kakashi, where did you learn that? Minato-sensei told me that and said to remember it just in case. I had no idea at the moment, but now I do. He sung this to Naruto to calm him down. Kakashi, come with me. Kurenai said, smiling. What do you mean? Kakashi asked. Just come on. Kurenai said, waving him to come over to her. Kurenai took him by the hand and led him into the bedroom Kurenai was sleeping in before Naruto woke them up. She wanted him to sleep in the same bed as her. Are you sure you want to do this, Kurenai? I mean, we barely know each other and stuff, you sure you want to do this, Kurenai? Yes, Kakashi, now get in bed. Kurenai said. Alright, if you want to really take this parenting thing to extremes, who am I to stand in your way? Kakashi said. Kurenai said, thank you, Kakashi. And rested her head on his chest to feel more comfortable. Kakashi pulled out one of his Icha Paradise books and Kurenai noticed this and told him to put it up. Kakashi put up that smut. I don't want Naruto to find one of those until he's 18. 12. 18. 14. 18. I'm 15. Thank you, wait, no 8. Nope, too late, Kurenai, 15 it is. End of story. Kakashi said, laughing. So who do you think his godparents should be, Kakashi? Kurenai asked. I don't really know. I want to pick someone really good because Minato was like a father to me since my father died here all those years ago. Kakashi said. I'm sorry I had no idea Kakashi. Kurenai said with a sad face. It's okay, you didn't know about it till now, so I don't mind telling you this. Would you telling me how and why he died if there is a why needed? Kurenai asked, not knowing if she was pushing the line or not. How he died? Well, he was leading a mission as an Anbu Black Ops leader. He disobeyed orders and decided to save his friends and comrades instead of abandoning the mission and lived to see another day. So he died on the mission. No, when he came back with all of his friends alive, but the Anbu were mad that he didn't just leave them to save his own ass. No slander with Naruto Kakashi. Okay. Sorry, I'll try harder next time I get the urge to use any slander. Thank you, and speaking of Naruto, did you put a mask on him? Yes, I actually put on 2. Why 2? Trust me, when the time comes it'll be funny and you will be gasping for air. Alright, I'll make sure to be there when he does this for the first time. But how is he supposed to eat, drink and breathe through 2 of those, Kakashi? Easy, Jinjutsu. It allows food and water to pass through to eat, and it is made of a very thin but very durable material, allowing him to breathe without any problem. Well, can we see his face that is covered up? Yes and no. Only mothers, father, siblings, and future husbands or wives can see their whole face. All you have to do is ask, otherwise you never get to see it. So could I see it, Kakashi? I don't know, it is family tradition for me to decline, but we are living together and will be for the foreseeable future. On the other hand, we aren't married, so it would break the tradition that has been kept since the clan's beginning. It's alright, Kakashi, but what were you saying about your father and his death? Oh right, well, when he returned, Anbu stripped him of his title and he slowly fell into depression with the respect he lost, being the white fang of the leaf, and my mother had been dead for some time, so he really did not know how to do anything or what to do. His life just fell apart until he drove himself mad and committed suicide. I was 8 when I came home to find him dead. I had to raise myself until Minato found out and decided to treat me like his own son, so I feel that this is a good way to repay him, since I never got the chance to tell him myself of how grateful I was of him taking me in like his own. It's because of him that I got to be this good. He pushed me harder than Rin and Obito Uchiha to become better than him. I just don't know if I actually have surpassed him, but I will make sure Naruto does pass me and Minato and make the both of us look like nothing. You really want Naruto to succeed, don't you, Kakashi? Yeah, I really want to help him. By the way, when do you think a good time would be for him to start training? I just wanted to know to see if it matches when I would like to start teaching with him. 5 years, not any younger, what were you thinking? 3. Kakashi replied calmly. Why 3? That's too dangerous for him. Kurenai blurted out. Could you be any louder? And I chose 3 because if Naruto is to pass Minato and he has to start early, besides, the training I have for him is just right and he'll soon be the just like Minato, a teen heartthrob. Kakashi said, laughing at the last part of what he said. Don't say that, Kakashi, I don't want to lose my baby. Kurenai said. Haha, it's okay, Kurenai, we won't lose him. When he does find his girl, I know something for a fact and I'll even make a bet out of it. Okay, I'm listening, Kakashi. Kurenai replied, wanting to know his bet. When he finds his girl, she will be very strong, as will he, she will be beautiful and he will protect her no matter what, and he will treat her like a girl woman should be treated, and he will make her the happiest person in the world. 100 Ryo on this. How do you know she will be all of those things? Can you see the future? No, I can't see the future, but I just have a really strong feeling about this, so 100 Ryo, good for you. You're on, and I think I know the perfect people for his godparents. Now you know he already has some appointed to him by Minato. Well then, tell me who they are before I tell you the people I'm thinking about. Okay, his godfather is none other than Jiraiya the Toad Sage, aka the super pervert and the author of my favorite series of books. But Jiraiya, what does he know about taking care of a child if we pass away? It's okay, I think you like his godmother, Tsunade Senju. Kurenai's eyes got wide before speaking. You mean Naruto's godparents are 2 of the non-pedophile Sannin? Yep, Tsunade and Jiraiya are his godparents. So who have you chosen? Well, his godfather will be Asuma Sarutobi and his godmother will be my best friend Anko Mitarashi. Kurenai said happily. Asuma and Anko, huh? Well, I don't see any problem with them, just are you sure about Anko, because she can be a little crazy. Yes, I'm sure about Anko, she'll be great with Naruto. Okay, if that is what you want, I will go with it. Thank you, Kakashi. Kurenai said, getting closer to him and started to hug him. This caught Kakashi off guard. He decided to wrap his arm around her neck and she moved her head so that both of them would be comfortable. You're welcome, Kurenai. Sleep well, tomorrow we have a big day ahead of us. With that, everyone was asleep and Naruto never disturbed either of them for the rest of the night. Chapter 2. Training and Friends. So there will not be a political marriage between the Kazekage and a son of one of the shinobi. But Naruto starts his training and meets some new friends and hangs out with them. Lee and Guy try to challenge Naruto and Kakashi respectively and get denied. Naruto meets the rest of the future team Guy and they go get BBQ at Choji's. 3-year time skip from last chapter. Kakashi walks into Naruto's room to see him sleeping and tries to wake him up for breakfast. Naruto wake up, it's morning. Sure, whatever. Naruto replied. Haha, just like his mother Kurenai, Naruto, seriously get up, you are starting your training today and you need your strength to work with the regiment that I have set up for you. Kakashi said. Sure, whatever. Naruto unconsciously said. Kakashi smacks his forehead. Time to pull out the big guns. Naruto, free Ramen at Ichiraku for the whole day. Kakashi said. Free Ramen at Ichira, wait a minute, why do you have to keep doing that? Naruto said, getting excited before he realized Kakashi's lie. So you get up, Naruto, now come on. Kakashi said, trying not to get irritated. Fine, I'm coming, but what type of training are you going to make me do? Naruto said, still half tired. You'll see soon enough. And we're going to meet some of my friends and their kids at the Nara compound, then we'll head over to the Akimichi BBQ pit for lunch and you can hang out with their kids. Kakashi said. Who are their kids, Naruto asked. Shikamaru Nara, son of Shikaku Nara, and Choji Akimichi, son of Choza Akimichi. They're your age and I thought it would be good for you to meet some other kids your age. First get ready and we'll head out to the Naras, then go to the park for y'all to get to know each other and then we can head over to Choza Akimichi's BBQ pit. They have the best bar BK in Konoha. So what do you say, Naruto, you ready for today? Kakashi asked. Yeah, I guess let me just eat and then we can head out. Naruto replied. Okay, let's eat before your mom gets upset. Kakashi said, chuckling. Naruto and Kakashi head into the kitchen to eat their breakfast. Kurenai greeted them and they ate, then headed out to the Nara complex to meet Shikaku and his family. Kakashi knocked on their door and Shikamaru answered the door instead of his dad. You must be Kakashi Haddock, my dad's been talking about you guys coming over then going out to the park to meet others our age, is that right? Shikamaru said. Yep, that sounds about right, Shikamaru. Kakashi said. Troublesome, just troublesome. Shikamaru replied. Haha, just like your father always saying things are troublesome. You must have inherited it from him. Kakashi said, grinning. Yeah, I did. Come on, and dad should be out back, Naruto can come with me and we can play shogi or go. Shikamaru said. Okay, Naruto, go and follow Shikamaru, he'll teach you to use your mind and figure out strategies to solve some problems. It will come in handy when you become a shinobi. I'm sure Shikamaru already is an expert so he can teach you the ropes. Kakashi said, smiling. Naruto listened and followed Shikamaru and the two hit it off. For 3 hours the two of them were going at it and Naruto soon got the hang of things and even beat Shikamaru a few times. The Haddocks and the Naras found the two trying to find a way to beat the other until Shikamaru realized that no matter what he did Naruto would win. I give up, I can't do anything without you countering and in the end beating me. Shikamaru said. Naruto smiled at this and turned to see Kakashi, Kurenai, Shikaku and Yoshino, Shikamaru's mom, to see that they were ready to head out and meet some of the other kids their age at the park. You guys ready to meet everyone else at the park? Shikaku asked. Sure, will Choji and Ino be there as well or who all is coming? Shikamaru asked. Well, the Akimichas should be there along with the Yamanakas and I think the Inyazukas will be there as well. Kurenai said. Well, this might be interesting. Are the Hyugas going to be there along with Tenten and her family going to be there as well? Shikamaru asked. Naruto was completely lost because he had no idea who all of these people were, but Shikamaru here knew exactly who they were. They all went to the spot that they were to meet at and had a run-in with Guy and his adopted son Lee. Kakashi, my eternal rival, how are the flames of youth with you? Guy yelled. You say something, Guy. Kakashi said, looking down at his Icha book. Damn, you're fucking too cool, Haddock attitude, have you brainwashed your son as well? Lee asked Naruto. Guy screamed. Naruto, my eternal rival, how are the flames of youth with you? Lee yelled. Naruto looked out of the corner of his eye to see Kakashi nod at him and he got the signal. Did you say something? Lee, was it? He's been brainwashed as well with that fucking too cool attitude from the Haddocks. Lee screamed. Naruto and Kakashi were trying to hold back laughs but couldn't keep it in and were laughing so hard they were rolling on the ground and everyone else wasn't too far behind until Guy and Lee were about to use their flames of youth genjutsu. Close your eyes, everybody. Kakashi screamed. Naruto tackled Naruto and Shikaku did the same with Shikamaru and Kurenai with Yoshino hit the deck and covered their eyes. They heard a scream and looked over to see Kiba and Ino passed out. Lee, Guy, look what you fucking did. Kiba and Ino are passed out. Shikaku yelled. Kakashi was starting to lift his headband to reveal his Sharingan before Lee and Guy ran for the hills knowing what was coming next. That should be enough to get them running. Now let's check up on those two over there. Inoichi, Zoom, how are they? Kakashi asked. They both got hit with a full blast of their Jinjutsu. I fear they will never be able to look at a sunset the same again. Inoichi said. Damn those two. I'm gonna kick Guy's ass, and Naruto will take out Lee with ease. Shikaku, if you want to join me beat Guy down, you're more than welcome to join me. Kakashi said. Oh, I'll join you. I'll use my shadow possession jutsu and you can use your Sharingan and take a couple shot, then I'll take some. Shikaku said. Kakashi grinned at that. Then Kiba and Ino finally woke up and all of them went to the park and started to hang out. Naruto and Shikamaru were getting along with Ino, Kiba and Choji, who came a little after the sunset Jinjutsu. Kiba's dog seemed to like Naruto a lot and decided to give a baby tooth from his dog Akamaru and gave it to Naruto to show that their friendship will never die. After everyone got used to each other, they decided to go out to the Akamichi Bar BK pit for lunch before everyone went their separate ways. Naruto got right to training with Kakashi, starting with a little warm-up of 50 push-ups, sit-up, pull-ups, run to the Hokage monument and back. Next Naruto was to start with a substitution jutsu. This is a very low-level one, so Kakashi thought this would be easy to start out with. So the main idea of this jutsu Naruto is that if you get attacked and a kunai or shuriken gets to you can perform this jutsu and it will turn into a log. Here, try it on me, throw the kunai at me and you'll see what I mean. Kakashi said. Naruto threw the kunai at his father and when it connected there was a delay in it and Naruto thought he actually hit his father until there was a poof and a cloud of smoke appeared and the log replaced Kakashi. Naruto's eyes grew wide in excitement and wanted to try it on his own. Kakashi told him what to do after he got down his chakra control. Once Naruto got this down, Kakashi let him try out the jutsu and on Naruto's first shot he got it down perfectly. He substituted himself with a log and then landed a punch on Kakashi's back. Kakashi was very impressed at how quickly Naruto got it down and decided to give him a bit of what he thinks that Naruto can get down at a certain point in time of his life. Naruto, since you got this down so quickly I think you're ready to start to learn some more jutsus. And at the rate you're going you could very well pass the fourth Hokage who was Kakashi said, dragging out the last part of the sentence. The greatest of all of the Hokages our village has ever seen. Naruto answered. Correct. Naruto, looks like you've been paying attention. Now for your next jutsu, it's called the Shadow Clone Jutsu. This is where you will make clones of yourself to confuse the enemy of where you really are. If a fake one gets him he will vanish. Now you can dispel the jutsu to make them go away or they can be hit and then they shall go away, so I do it first so you can see and then you can give it a shot, okay? Kakashi said to a smiling Naruto who was in awe of everything that he was learning. Kakashi performed the jutsu a few times, so Naruto got the basic idea and told him that different amounts of chakra are needed for the amount of clones that you want to appear in front of you. More chakra for more clones and less chakra for less clones. Then there is another thing, once one of your clones is destroyed you learn what he learned so you know what to do better next time you charge in for an attack. So go ahead and show me what you can do, for now give me as many clones as you can produce. Kakashi said, not expecting the amount Naruto threw at him. Naruto channeled a ton of chakra and out-poofed 100 clones that weren't duds, they were exactly like Naruto. Kakashi's eyes grew wide not knowing that Naruto was going to be able to master his first two jutsus with so much ease and Naruto wasn't even suffering from chakra exhaustion, which isn't common for a kid his age. Hey Kurenai, come look at what Naruto did. Kakashi said, not taking his eyes off of what Naruto just accomplished. Kurenai walked out back and saw 100 shadow clones that looked exactly like Naruto and was in complete shock at this. Naruto, honey, did you do this all on your own? Kurenai asked, amazed at what her son just did. Normally a jutsu like this would be considered extremely hard for someone his age, but Naruto seemed to have no trouble at all. Naruto, why don't you dispel the jutsu and work on some jinjutsu with your mother for a little while, when you're done come and get me and I'll start your taijutsu training. Kakashi said, going inside to try and finish his Icha Paradise book. Okay Naruto, do you know what jinjutsu is to start off? Kurenai asked. It's an illusion that you create to strike fear into an enemy or opponent. Naruto replied. Yes, that is correct. Now this is how you can perform a jinjutsu, Kurenai said. This goes on for about a year with Naruto learning some new jutsus, getting better at starting up some strategies with Shikamaru, hanging out with Shika, Kiba, Choji, Ino, Niji, Tenten, and Hinata, and not caring about being around that emo scum Sasuke and his stupid pink-haired baboon fangirl named Sakura that follows him everywhere he goes. Every day Lee would try and challenge Naruto to some challenge of battle, but every time Naruto would deny, saying he was already on his way somewhere. And every day for dinner he would go to Ichiraku's ramen shop with Kakashi and Kurenai. Tucci always loved when Naruto would come, saying that he was his #1 customer and the ramen was always on the house. Hey Autumn-san, when can I start learning some new jutsus? I'm getting tired of doing the same ones over and over again, but it's so easy, can't I learn something new and harder? I mean come on, I learned my first 2 jutsus on my first try, is there any other jutsu you can teach me? Naruto asked, wanting to a yes from his parents. No, you are learning jutsus that not even your friends are probably doing right now, for now come up with different combinations and strategies to make it absolutely perfect. Like I said, I'm sure most of your friends haven't even started training like you have, except in their family jutsus. Or Shikamaru the shadow possession jutsu, Niji and Hinata with the gentle fist style, Tenten with her mass arsenal of weapons, and lastly Kiba with Akamaru. Kakashi explained to Naruto. What about Choji and Shino? Naruto asked. Ah yes, I forgot about them. Well, Choji most likely won't start until he's around the academy age, and I would think Shino would be the same as Choji. So you have a head start on all of them, you should be proud. Besides, none of their parents know about our training. Kakashi said, not looking away from his bowl of ramen. Naruto's eyes got big, not knowing that his friends had no idea he was training harder than all of them. Wait, what about Ino, do you think she has started? Naruto asked. Hard to say, Inoichi can decide on that. Anyone else you forgot? Kakashi asked, smiling through his masks. Oh, that emo prick Sasuke and his stupid fangirl Sakura, along with that pale kid Sai. Sasuke probably has only learned one jutsu, and it's not that good. But if you want a jutsu to learn, I have a special one for you, want to know what it is? Kakashi asked, smiling. Yes, please tell me, Atom-san. I need to learn another jutsu. Naruto asked, begging. Well, here it is, it's called Leaf Village Secret Finger Jutsu 8,000 Years of Death. Kakashi said, smirking, looking at his kid smile through his masks. Every day for the next year or so goes about the same exact way until Naruto is about 5 or 6. Chapter 3. Young Marriage and Goodbyes. Naruto is now 6 years old after a time skip, and now Naruto and his family will be summoned by the Hokage for something important. Naruto continues hanging out with his friends and getting stronger, and he starts to grow up a bit. After the meeting with the Hokage, Naruto's life will be changed forever. Naruto is now a 6-year-old boy still living in the same house he has been living in since Kakashi and Kurenai took him in as their own child. Kurenai and Kakashi have realized that they have had feelings for each other, and they have let those feelings grow, and now they are both married and living just fine. Naruto continues his training to become better than his father and the 4th Hokage, seeking to be the next Hokage. So right now Naruto is training, and then Hiruzen Sarutobi summons Naruto and his family for an important matter that cannot be delayed any longer if the peace between Konoha and Suna is going to happen. Nice work, Naruto, keep it up. Don't stop until you put a dent in the dummy. Kakashi said, looking at his son go to work on the wooden dummy he made for Naruto to increase his close combat skills. Right. I'll put a dent in this thing before the day is over, I promise. Naruto shouted. Then with one last punch, Naruto made a huge dent in the wooden dummy and actually knocked it down. The dummy itself weighed about 150 pounds and Naruto was only 60 pounds. Kakashi looked up from his Icha Paradise book to see that Naruto made a huge dent and knocked it over. Naruto looked over to Kakashi and gave him a smile, still in the stance he was in when he knocked over the dummy. Nice job, Naruto, I think now would be a good time to rest and shower because you're going to be training for the first time in Kinjutsu, which is, Kakashi said, dragging out the last part of the sentence. Training with swords and the sorts. Naruto replied. Correct, now go upstairs and shower so you are ready to leave for Tenten's. Oh, and Shikamaru wanted you to come over to their place for a few games of Go and Shogi. Kakashi said. Okay, Dad. Naruto said, walking upstairs to take a shower. Don't forget, we're going to see the Hokage today for an important meeting and you must come, no exceptions, Naruto. Kakashi said. Are you serious? Why do I have to go to the Hokage's office this time? Can't I just stay at home and train or something? Naruto said, complaining. No, you must be there, now go or you'll find out what's behind my forehead protector. Kakashi said, getting very serious. Naruto said nothing and ran upstairs to get ready to leave for Tenten's place. Kurenai saw the whole thing and went to Kakashi. Did you really have to scare him with saying you'll show him your Sharingan, Kakashi-kun? Kurenai said, sort of getting a kick out of it. Sorry, Kuro-chan, but he wouldn't listen to me, so desperate times call for desperate measures, wouldn't you agree? Kakashi said, giving her a quick kiss before heading inside. Kurenai could only smile at Kakashi and thinking to herself, I never thought I would have ended up falling in love with Kakashi and raising a child with him. Maybe one day we can have a child of our own and give Naruto a little brother or sister. Kurenai's train of thought was broken when Kakashi spoke to her. Hey Kuro-chan, how's Naruto's Genjutsu training going? Actually, I'm very surprised how good he is considering the family he comes from isn't exactly known for Genjutsu, more for Fuinjutsu. Kurenai replied. That's right, I almost forgot the Uzumakis and Namikazes were the best at sealing jutsus. Kakashi said. Speaking of Fuinjutsu, how is that going for him? Kurenai asks since she only teaches Naruto Genjutsu, will Kakashi teaches him Nin, Tai, and Fuinjutsu, and Tenten's family will cover Kinjutsu until Jiraiya comes back for Naruto to begin his training. Perfectly fine, he actually already has an emergency scroll for when he or one of his friends gets hit with Lee's Flames of Youth Genjutsu. But Naruto will never get hit so we have nothing to worry about. Kakashi said chuckling a little bit. So what does he use for his friends? Kurenai asked wanting to know since Naruto has never brought this up before. Well for starters Choji get a full bag of BK chips, Ino gets a bunch of flowers, Shino gets some bugs, Tenten is hearing swords clash against each other, Kiba is a dog bone, Shikamaru would have to be Naruto just yelling troublesome in his ear. Kakashi said trying to remember if he got everyone. What about Neji and Hinata Hyuga? Kurenai asked. Naruto hasn't found anything for them except dumping cold water on them. Kakashi said. 30 min. Time skip. Naruto is now training with Tenten in Kinjutsu using katanas. Naruto and Tenten were going at it like they were enemies in a real battle. Both Naruto and Tenten were nearing the end of what they could put out and soon Naruto beat Tenten with his sword at her neck, showing that he's won the battle training session. Tenten was a little upset that she lost because she is the best at Kinjutsu because that's her specialty and she got beat by someone who was on their first day of Kinjutsu training. Tenten admitted defeat and as a reward for Naruto beating her is that she let him keep the katana used for free and even gave him a sheath to hold his katana. After a few minutes Naruto headed over to Shikamaru's to train his mind. Then he got delayed by Lee wanting to get a challenge out of Naruto, but of course Naruto declined. Naruto my eternal rival I have a challenge for you and you can't decline this one because the flames of youth burn bright in the both of us. Lee said. You say something Lee. I'm actually headed to Shika's place for Go and Shogi. Naruto replied calmly. Damn that too cool smooth talking Haddock attitude of yours. Yeah. Lee screamed and started his flames of youth Genjutsu and luckily Naruto dodged it but someone unfortunately got hit with it. All Naruto heard was a scream from a girl. It was Ino, she almost got hit with the Genjutsu before Shikamaru stepped in front of her to take the full blast of it. Shikamaru you idiot why did you have to do that? A tearing up Ino said. Ino what happened to Shika Naruto said running over to her said to inspect Shikamaru of how bad he got hit. The lazy idiot jumped in front of me when I didn't notice Lee about to use his flames of youth Genjutsu and he got the full blast. Ino said on the verge of crying. Hey Naruto, what the hell happened here? I heard a scream and a bright flash and knew it was Lee. So did anyone get hit? Kiba asked running to see what had happened. Yeah, Shikamaru here got hit protecting Ino from the blast and he got the full thing. Have Akamaru lick him a few times, I think I got something for him. Naruto said. Got it, Akamaru you know what to do give Shikamaru here a few licks, then let our brother take care of the rest. Kiba said to Akamaru. Akamaru barked in response and gave Shikamaru a few licks, then let Naruto go to work. Naruto pulled out a scroll that had something in it that would wake up each of them if they ever needed to. For Ino it was flowers, Choji is a bag of BK chips, Shino is some bugs flying around him, Kiba is a dog bone, Tenten was the clanking of new weapons, and Shikamaru was a recording of his mother nagging him. As for the Hyugas Naruto hadn't figured out something for either Neji or Hinata and he didn't bother with Sasuke or Sakura, that stupid pink-haired baboon fangirl. He only got things for his friends. After Naruto played the recording a few times Shikamaru started to come to his senses hearing the recording over and over. Finally after a few minutes Shikamaru woke up to see his friends looking at him and one Ino about to start letting the waterworks show begin. What the hell happened to me? Last thing I remember was stepping in front of Ino so she wouldn't get hit with that sunset Genjutsu. Shikamaru said. Yeah, well that's exactly what happened. You took the full blast of that Genjutsu to protect Ino. She screamed we rushed over and finally got you to wake up thanks to my Flames of Youth remedy scroll. Naruto said with a grin that couldn't be seen because of his mask. Thanks Naruto I really owe you one for getting me back and running. And Ino please make sure you know if Lee is around you and is about to blast his jutsu again, I seriously don't want to do this again, okay? Shikamaru said. Okay Shikamaru, I'll try to do what you say. Ino said starting to cry. Ino practically tackled Shikamaru and thanking him a million times for what he did and Shikamaru had no idea how he was supposed to react to this. Naruto caught sight of this and started to chuckle a bit and Shikamaru only thought one thing troublesome the two of them. Okay I'm alright no need for crying or anything. Next time Lee does this to any of us we beat his ass. Everyone cool with that? Shikamaru said trying to change the mood lingering over everyone's head. Naruto looked at his friends and knew what they were thinking, of course we're okay with that, they don't call it revenge for nothing now do they Shika? Naruto said giving an eye smile. Alright everyone can go back to what they were doing or you can join Naruto and I at my place to play some Go or Shogi. Shikamaru said. Everyone shrugged in agreement and didn't see any harm in going with Shikamaru and Naruto to hang out for a while, so the group headed over to the Nara compound where they went straight to the back after greeting Shikaku and Yoshino to watch Naruto and Shikamaru play a few games before challenging their friends to a few rounds. That whole day Naruto only lost once, and that was the first game to Shikamaru. After that he won the next 3 against him before cruising against his friends. Shikamaru only lost 3 games, all to the hands of Naruto, he also cruised past his friends. The only way any of them won was by beating each other. Right before the next game could start, all of the families for the boys appeared. Kakashi was the first to speak to them all. Naruto, Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba, Shino, you and your families have been invited to the Hokage's office for a very important matter that could solve some village issues. Your presence is requested at once. The Naras, my wife, and I can all escort you there. Kakashi said. Everyone but Naruto looked at Kakashi with stunned faces. None of them knew that he and kurenai had actually tied the knot. It had actually happened before Naruto's 5th birthday, but they made it a private wedding, and Kakashi forgot to tell everyone, for a year. Since when have you two been married? No one has ever said anything about that. Shikaku said to one of his best friends, the other being Choza. Before Naruto's 5th birthday, I guess I forgot to inform everyone about that. Haha. Kakashi said, grinning through his mask. Whatever, let's just go to the Hokage's before he kills us. Shikaku said. But that the 5-6-year-old boys and their families made their way to the Hokage's office. Once inside, Naruto was the first to notice an older man with 3 kids, a blonde girl with 4 ponytails about 9 years old, a brown-haired boy about 8 or so, and another red-headed boy about Naruto's age. Naruto didn't really notice the boys because he was captivated by the young girl's beauty. All he could do was stare at her with amazement. She soon noticed this and turned to see Naruto staring at her, and instead of Naruto turning away like a shy boy, he kept on staring at her. This of course started to make her blush, and as a result, Naruto noticed her cheeks starting to flush and started to nervously scratch the back of his head and blushing himself. Naruto soon heard his name called by his parents and went inside the Hokage's office, still blushing at the girl he had now formed a crush on, and was praying that he could see her one last time. But Naruto's train of thought was broken by Hiruzen Sarutobi, starting to explain why they were summoned on such short notice. Sarutobi quickly asked his assistant to bring in their guests, who were none other than the man with 3 children that Naruto saw less than 30 seconds ago. Everyone, this is the 4th Kazekage and his 3 children, going from oldest to youngest, Temari, Konkurum, and Gaara. They are here because we want to strengthen the alliance between our villages, so Kazekage-sama here has decided how this will go along. Kazekage-sama, if you would, Hiruzen said. Thank Hokage-sama. Now, as Hiruzen has stated, I have asked to strengthen the alliance between our villages, because if Iwagakure attacks us and takes over us, they will be extremely close to Konohagakure, and we all know that Iwa and Konoha have some history since the 3rd Shinobi World War, because of the Yellow Flash. So here is what I'm considering. My daughter Temari will marry one of the boys here in this room. Depending on the training they have done will determine how well I believe they can protect my daughter when it is needed. The Kazekage said. Every one of the parents gasped at what they were hearing. It was possible that one of their boys could end up being engaged at the age of 6 to the Kazekage's oldest child and only daughter, Temari. So with that being said, I will go from left to right to see what training your child has undergone. So with that being said, the family on the far left, please introduce your clan name, child's name, and what training they have undergone so far. The Kazekage stated. Very well, Kazekage-sama, we are the Aburam clan. This is Shino Aburam, and our clan specializes in bugs, so we are approaching the appropriate age for Shino to start training, so no training has been done. We are from the Inyazuka clan. This is my son Kiba Inyazuka with his life partner Akamaru. We specialize in using dogs as our personal teammate until we are put on a team. The dog also is a bodyguard for its overseer. We too haven't started any training yet, Kazekage-sama. Tsume Inyazuka stated. We are from the Akamichi clan. This is my son Choji Akamichi, and we don't start our family jutsu, which is expansion jutsu, until around academy age, so no training has been done for Choji here. Choza Akamichi said. The Kazekage was getting frustrated with the fact that half of the families here haven't even started training their child yet, and next up is the Naras, Uchihas, and lastly the Haddoks in that order. We come from the Nara clan. This is Shikamaru Nara, and he has started a little bit of our family jutsu which specializes with shadows. He has also become a genius in coming up with strategies in Go and Shogi, and even beat me in a couple of games. And that's impressive because if we should go to war, I'm the lead strategist. Shukaku said. We are from the Uchiha clan. This is my son Sasuke Uchiha. He has started to learn some of our family jutsu, including some advanced ninjutsus for his age. He has also awakened the first stage of his Sharingan. I think that is sufficient enough seeing as we are the most impressive and most elite clan here, Kazekage-sama. Hirosoma Uchiha said. Well, a Sharingan user is very good protection for my sweet Temari. The Kazakage started. I have made my decision on who shall marry my daughter, Tamari it will be Saz. The Kazakage started to say before Hirzan interrupted him. Now hold on Kazakage-sama, there is still one family who hasn't introduced themselves to you and I think their history will surprise you. Hirzan Sarutobi said. Fine, let's get this over with so my daughter can find her husband. The Kazakage said. But the Kazakage looked at the yellow-haired boy, then moved his whole body to show that Naruto was his full attention, then Naruto glanced at Kakashi who nodded at Naruto and Naruto nodded back at his father. Looking at the Kazakage then his daughter Tamari he gave her a wink, which didn't go unnoticed by the Kazakage of course. I am the heir to the Haddock clan. My name is Naruto Haddock, the name may sound familiar because my grandfather was the White Fang of the Leaf, my father has son, me the grandson. I am currently at mid-D level Jinjutsu, high-D low Seinen and Taijutsu. I have started Kinjutsu today and won my first match against Tenten, who is a weapons protege. I have also mastered the Shadow Clone Jutsu and Substitution Jutsu on my first try. My warm-ups have consisted of 100 push-ups, sit-ups, and 25 laps around the entire compound. Naruto said without phasing. Everyone looked in surprise at what just came out of Naruto's mouth, they knew Naruto would be a good ninja at his age, but not a fucking genius. The Kazakage was still trying to put everything together until he finally found his voice again. My decision has been made, the boy or man that will marry my daughter is Naruto Haddock. Cheers broke out for Naruto as his friends surrounded him congratulating him, then Tamari walked up to the group and Naruto's friends backed up and Tamari gave a quick kiss to Naruto's cheek, which made him blush. Hey, Naruto, could you take off your mask for me? Tamari asked. Naruto's friends leaned in closer to see if they would finally get to see what was under Naruto's mask. Sure, Naruto started with his friends getting grins, when we go home I'll take it off. Naruto said, starting to laugh at his friends' expressions. Okay, I'll wait until then, Naruto, Tamari said smiling. I know you'll wait, Tima-chan. Naruto said, grinning right back at her. Tamari started to blush at this and then all of the kids were brought back into reality by Kakashi. Why don't you guys all go to Akimichi's for a celebration dinner? Konkurum, Gar, you're welcome to join us, you are now our friends, allies, and you're a part of our family now. Kakashi said. Wait a minute here, I'm supposed to marry Tamari, not that dope over there. Sasuke yelled in anger. It's done, Sasuke, get over it, I'm marrying Tamari and that's final. Naruto yelled back at him. Hide me right here, right now. I win, Tamari marries me, if you win things will stay as they are now. Sasuke said. Deal. Naruto immediately said back at Sasuke. Everyone cleared out of the way and the Kazakage whispered something into the Hokage's ear which made him laugh a little bit. I bet 25 Ryo. Naruto wipes the floor with his Uchiha. The Kazakage said. Haha, agreed. Hiruzen replied. Kakashi said only one thing to Naruto before the fight would start, Naruto 1000. Kakashi said smiling. I was going to do that either way, Dad. Naruto replied with an evil grin on his face. Sasuke was the first to make a move and Naruto easily dodged his attack and was suddenly behind Sasuke. Kakashi was probably the only one who caught what Naruto did because his speed was off the charts. If he kept increasing his speed at a steady pace, he could surpass the 4th Hokage in speed. Everyone gasped at how fast Naruto was, then Naruto said one thing before performing his secret weapon, you should never let your enemy get behind you. Sasuke Leaf Village Secret Finger Jutsu, 1000 Years of Death. Naruto screamed and Sasuke flew into the ceiling making a huge crater in it before falling on his head on going out cold. Everyone in the room including the two Kages along with Tamari, Konkurum and Gaara were trying to hold back laughter but couldn't after Kiba started to bust out rolling on the floor. Soon everyone was following Kiba and everyone, not including the Uchihas, had tears in their eyes from laughing so hard. Holy shit, Naruto, that was so awesome, hahaha. Kiba said, trying to contain himself but failed in the end. After everyone stopped their laughing, Kakashi spoke up, okay kids, go on and head over to the Akimichi pit for dinner. Kuro-chan and I will catch up, we just have some important business to be dealt with. Hokage-sama and Kazakage-sama here. Are you sure, Dad, you want us to go ahead without you? Naruto said. Naruto, I trust Shikaku, Choza, Tsume, and Shibi with my life, they are also some of my closest friends, trust me, go on, and we'll be there shortly afterwards to celebrate on your engagement and your first victory in a real fight. Naruto nodded and grabbed Tamari's hand and they walked out of the Hokage's tower going towards the Akimichi pit led by Choza himself. Hokage's office. Kazakage-sama, there is something you need to know about Naruto. Kakashi started. He isn't really our genetic child, he's the 4th Hokage's child who was also my sensei, Minato Namikaze, who married Kushina Uzumaki. They both died when the Kyuubi was unleashed on our village several years ago. I just want you to know that should Naruto and Tamari have a child, that child will have 100% Kage in it. Half of it will come from Tamari, who is your daughter, and the other half will come from Naruto, who, as I said, is the 4th child. And I believe Naruto can become Hokage himself. Kakashi said. I have no problem with this news that will just make their names longer when they officially get married. We'll be staying here for a week and then we shall leave Temari in your hands. We would also request that Temari stay with you so she is better acclimated to her new family. The Kazekage said with a smile. I'm sure Naruto will have something to say about this, but for now why don't the four of us go out and celebrate with Naruto and his gang? We can even get the Amanakas, Hyugas, and Tenten's family if they would like to join us. Okage-sama, would you mind going after the two Hyugas for me while Kuro-chan goes and gets Tenten, and I'll get Inoichi and Ino to join us, and if you run in Gaia Rock Lee, don't tell them of our get-together. Okay. Kakashi said, worried at the last part. We know, Kakashi, just hurry up and go get our friends, Naruto is waiting, you know. Hiruzen said. But that they all left and the Kazekage quickly ran for the Akimichi pit. 15 minutes later. Everyone was at the pit and celebrating Naruto and Temari's big day. On one side of the table sat Naruto and Temari in the middle with Temari on the left of Naruto and Gaara on his right. Konkurum was at Temari's left with Kiba to the left of Konkurum. On Gaara's right was Shino. On the other side you had Shikamaru across Naruto, Choji in front of Temari, Hinata in front of Gaara, Neji in front of Konkurum, Tenten in front of Kiba, leaving Ino on the opposite end of Tenten's row. Everyone was enjoying the good company and because Neji, Hinata, Tenten and Ino weren't there, Naruto retold the whole story and everyone was laughing and having a good time with each other. The parents were across the walkway talking and getting to know each other better and they did. The whole night was filled with laughter from both the parents and the kids. Asuma and Anko even got word about this, so they decided to drop by and see what was going on. When Kakashi told them about the fight between Naruto and Sasuke, Anko couldn't hold out any longer and Asuma wasn't doing that well either, and within seconds the two of them were laughing so hard that they were bawling their eyes out. Our godson is amazing, isn't he, Asuma? Anko said. Yeah, no doubt about it, I would love to have Naruto on my team if I got one this year. Asuma said. After 2 hours passed by, everyone was outside talking with each other until the crowd died down to the Haddocks and Temari's family. Well, as you know, Kakashi, we are leaving in a week for Suna and I expect that you take great care of my daughter until the next time we see her. Lord Kazekage said. Wait, Temari has to leave her family in order to stay with me? Naruto asked, confused by this statement. Yes, Naruto, you see, I feel if she stays with you, she'll learn a lot more than if she were to go back home with myself and her brothers. I'm doing this so the two of you spend time together and get better at being a ninja. I know you'll push her to be the best she can be, Naruto, please take care of her, will you do that for me? Lord Kazekage asked. Yes, I will take care of her, but she stays with me for the week, then leaves with you to return home. Naruto said without changing his tone. Why? Temari must stay here with you, Naruto, you are her husband-to-be. You can't abandon her. Lord Kazekage was about to finish when Naruto interrupted. I know this seems like I'm abandoning her, but I assure you I have thought this through and I want her to leave with her family because she can learn all she can from Suna, then the next time we see each other, I can teach her everything I have learned up to that point. Once I get out of the academy, the very next Chunin exams will be when we see each other again and from there we shall live together. Does that sound alright to you, Lord Kazekage? Naruto asked with a grin. The Kazekage was shocked as to how much Naruto really thought this through for each of them. Temari would learn all of the wind jutsus from Suna, then Naruto could teach her jutsus from Konoha and vice versa. I will accept this offer, young fox. I wish the best of luck until the next time we see each other and I hope it's the Chunin exams. If that is all, I will be on my way with the boys to the hotel. I leave Temari in your hands until the time we depart from here to return home. Lord Kazekage said. Actually, there is one thing, if you would please follow me. Naruto said as her grabbed Temari and took her bridal style and took to the tops of the buildings towards the Hokage Tower. He sure is a ladies' man, isn't he, Kakashi? Lord Kazekage said. He sure is, but he didn't get that from me. Kakashi said. Then he took kurenai bridal style, then took to the rooftops to the Hokage Tower. Not a ladies' man, my ass. The Kazekage said. Then he and Gaara along with Konkurum took to the rooftops to the Hokage Tower, following Naruto and Kakashi carrying their woman to the tower to see if Naruto could ask Hiruzen for a favor. Naruto, Kakashi, and the Kazekage all got to the Hokage's office to catch Hiruzen just about to leave. Hey old man, Naruto started as Temari thought how he could be so informal with his leader. Could I ask you for the favor? Naruto finished stressing the last two words. Are you sure it's time for this, Naruto? You realize this means you will have to make this as one of your top priorities, right? Hiruzen said. I understand, but I'm absolutely sure this is the right time. Naruto replied. Well then, if you're sure about this, then I guess I can't go against your request. Hiruzen said, then went over to his desk, then opened up a secret compartment in his desk and inside was a wooden box filled with three-pronged kunai with writing on the handle for locating it. Naruto grabbed the box and opened it and showed Temari and everyone what was inside of it. Naruto grabbed one of the three-pronged kunai and handed it to Temari. If you ever need me to teleport to your side, you just have to send some chakra into the kunai, then stab it into the ground and I'll find you. I hope this works out for whenever you need me, also one for Autumn-san and OK-san, and one for Asuma and Anko when we see them. I hope you like the gift. I was hoping to save it for a later time, but with the circumstances I guess there's no better time than right now. Naruto said, smiling at Temari, who quickly gave him a hug for how much he cared for her, even though they haven't even known each other for a full day. Naruto quickly took advantage of the situation. He took Temari bridal style again, then hopped out of the window onto a rooftop, then hopped all the way to their house. Well, I guess we should be going. Kakashi said, scratching the back of his head. He quickly followed Naruto's lead and took kurenai bridal style and followed Naruto's exact path. When the Haddocks finally got to their house, Kurenai was the first to speak. Since when have you been such a ladies' man, Kakashi? Kurenai asked. I can see Naruto being a ladies' man, but since when have you been so open? You haven't been like this for a few months, and I was wondering when you'd finally open up again. To be honest, I was getting to be a little worried about you. Kurenai said, grinning while she mentally came up with a plan to seduce Kakashi that night. Well, Kuro-chan, with all of my missions I haven't been able to do just that, but trust me, in some of my free time I'll open up, just wait and see. Kakashi said, giving her an eye smile. Naruto and Temari were sitting on the couch talking and getting to know more about where each of them lived. Naruto was interested to know what life in Suna was like, while Temari wanted to hear everything about Konoha. The two were so engrossed in their own conversation that they thought they were the only ones in the house. Thankfully, because they were lost in their own world, Kurenai was walking behind their couch and swaying her hips to get Kakashi's attention and then lure him into her little trap she had set for him. Kakashi saw Kurenai swaying her hips and understood what she wanted. From there his crotch took over him as his pants were tightening the more his got aroused. Finally, Kakashi walked into his and Kurenai's room and closed the door, then put a privacy seal around the room so they wouldn't disturb Temari and Naruto's get to know each other. Some time passed when Naruto decided it was best for them to head on to bed. Naruto went ahead and led Temari into his room, although this was against Kurenai's request for them to not sleep together. Naruto climbed in bed only in his undergarments, while Temari had her own little nightgown. Once the two were in bed, Naruto wrapped his arm around Temari and she rolled into him and laid her head on his chest to hear his heartbeat. Even though this was her first night with her boyfriend-fiancé, she loved hearing his heartbeat and using his developing arm as a pillow. The two of them were like that for the entire night without being disturbed. Later that night, when Kakashi got done knocking up Kurenai, they both walked into what was supposed to be Temari's room to see how she was doing until they saw no one in the bed. Both of them quickly had fear in their eyes until they checked Naruto's room and saw them sleeping together in peace. Kurenai was about to cry and didn't want to leave that sight, but Kakashi somehow got her away from Naruto and Temari's room and brought her back to their own room, where Kakashi spooned Kurenai for the rest of the night. Time skipped to end of the week when Temari leaves for Suna. The rest of the week had been great for everyone. Everything was peaceful and no one ran into Guy or his son Lee. But the reality hit Naruto harder than running into a wall of bricks being pushed by train. He was so sad that Temari had to leave because they were getting so used to each other's presence. Naruto had taken Temari out on a couple of mini dates to the movies, and Kakashi let Temari train with Naruto and try to teach her everything she could learn while she was staying with them. But the truth was that Temari had to leave, but Naruto felt that he would be seeing her sooner than the Chunin exams in 6 years that will be held in Konoha. Everyone said their goodbyes and Naruto and Temari were the last to do so. Naruto pulled out one of the three-pronged kunai and handed it over to Temari with great care. Whenever you need me, I'm only a kunai away, Tima-chan. I want you to remember me whenever you look at this kunai. I'll truly miss you, Tima-chan. Naruto said with a smile. Since everyone from the leaf that was present was behind Naruto and Temari's family was facing the road ahead of them, Naruto decided to do something that could have been considered trashing the Haddock tradition. Naruto quickly took off his two masks to show Temari his face for her first time, as she forgot to tell Naruto to take it off the entire week. This will be her first and last time, for a while, to see Naruto without his masks on. Temari was just staring and thinking to herself how lucky she got to be able to marry this young stud. Temari had no idea what she was doing and leaned in to kiss Naruto, and he did the same, leaning into her, and they kissed for the first time, and both soon felt heat rushing up to their cheeks, before Naruto broke the kiss, pulled up his masks and whispered something only Temari could hear, "I will always love you, my sand princess." Temari started to blush wildly before she whispered something back to Naruto, "And I will always love you, my golden fox Sama." Naruto started to blush, then gave Temari a peck on the cheek before waving goodbye to his fiancée and to her brothers and father. Chapter 4. Graduation, Homecoming and Land of Waves Part I. In this chapter of Naruto's life we will start in a flashback with Naruto's graduation day. I won't do the Mizuki scene since in my story, Naruto finds out in a different way about the nine-tailed fox, and Mizuki just doesn't exist for now until I find the time to put him in. Temari comes back to the Leaf Village, and her team along with Naruto's team gets a C-ranked mission. This will be a 6-year time skip, and Temari and Naruto haven't seen each other in those 6 years of separation. Flashback. The day for our hero is here, graduation. Naruto will finally become a shinobi for the Hidden Leaf Village. Temari over in Suna has been a kunoichi for Suna for 3 years, Conqueror for 2 years, and this will be Gaara's first year as a shinobi. So let's visit our blonde hero. Naruto has woken ready to tackle his big day. Man, it's gonna be a great day once I become a shinobi. Maybe Autumn-san will throw one of his legendary parties Aunt Anko has told me about. Naruto said as he stretched out the tiredness in his muscles. Kakashi-kun will not throw one of his legendary parties, last time was when you went to Shikamaru's house and Anko got everyone drunk and we all had a hangover for a day. Plus Asuma almost got Anko pregnant. Kurenai said rolling her eyes at her son, but smiling. I know Uncle Asuma almost got Aunt Anko pregnant but they've been dating for over a year and Anko does want a kid. So why not give her a kid? Naruto said. It doesn't matter Naruto, the two of them told me they aren't ready for kids yet and plus they aren't even engaged. Kurenai replied. Okay, I guess that's a good reason, but do you have any idea when Asuma will ask for Anko's hand in marriage? Naruto asked. As a matter of fact I do know when, after the Chunin exams, but why is this so important to you all of a sudden? Kurenai asked grinning. After Chunin exams, but that's when I was going to do it. Naruto yelled a little upset at hearing this news. To who, have you forgotten that you're engaged to Temari and for 6 years at that? Kurenai snapped back at him. That's who I was going to ask. I know we're going to be getting married because of politics, but I want her to know that I want to personally marry her because I love her and I will protect her. Naruto said giving his mom a smile. I know you will, now come on you have to be at the academy in 2 hours for graduation. Kurenai said smiling back at her son. 2.5 hours later. Naruto is sitting with all of his friends around him and they're all talking about a bunch of stuff. Haruka was running a little late because of depression problems that he's had that only 3 people have noticed, Naruto, Kakashi, and the Hokage. Naruto was just about to ask his friends if they knew what their element was, but Haruka finally showed up. And they got through the final welcomings, and Haruka announced who the Rookie of the Year was and the Kunoichi of the Year. Naruto won Rookie of the Year and Ino won Kunoichi of the Year. The two were congratulated by everyone except the emo Sasuke and his banshee of a fangirl Sakura. Sakura was demanding Naruto to give up his Rookie of the Year award to her Sasuke-kun and demanded Ino to give her Kunoichi of the Year award to herself. But Ino just looked at Naruto and he nodded his head. Next thing you know Ino punched Sakura in the gut and sent her flying through the wall of the classroom and into the next door classroom. Naruto had already walked up to the top row of the classroom with the rest of his friends and when they all saw the punch, they whipped out some cards with numbers and they all held up a 10. Even Shino joined in on this and Ino gave them a bow and returned to her desk next to Shikamaru. No one knew that the two of them had been going out for a month or so except for Naruto and Choji, everyone else just thought that they were really close friends because of their fathers being very good friends. Hinata and Kiba were even starting their own little relationship that no one knew for except for Naruto. It seems that Naruto is the only one that knows what's going on between all of his friends. Tenten had even tried a few times to catch Niji's eye, but he is just too damn stubborn to notice her. After the awards were passed out Naruto was the first one called in to do the clone jutsu, and he nailed it. After everyone had gone they all found out that they were all going to be shinobi with each other. But their big day wasn't over just yet, Haruka was going to announce the teams that each person would be put on. Flashback to the night before now. You all know why you're here you will be requesting a team of genin for you to lead, so if there are any volunteers please step forward now. Hiruzen said as everyone looked around at each other until Asuma stepped up. And who would you like to request Asuma-sama? Hiruzen asked. Before I give my requests Lord Hokage it is my understanding that after the Chunin exams Naruto's fiancée Temari is to be joining our ranks, is this true Hokage-sama? Asuma asked. Yes this is true Temari will be joining us after we host the Chunin exams, why do you ask Asuma-san? Hiruzen inquired already knowing where this was going. Well now that I know that rumor is a fact I would like to request Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akimichi, Naruto Haddock and when she joins us Temari Haddock. Asuma said all 5 of the names without phasing for a second. Everyone had surprise on their face because if the Hokage accepted this they would be the first team in ninja history to have 5 genin on a team which would force the team to have 2 jonin on the team. I accept this request now who would you request to be the second jonin on your team, you will still be team 10 or team Asuma, but you must have a second jonin if you are to have more than 3 genin on the team. Hiruzen replied. Anko Mitarashi would be a great fit for the team, with her knowledge in fighting she can be very useful for the team. Asuma answered his father and leader. Then I will accept this request, you can tell Anko if you want or I can send word to her if you would like me to. Hiruzen said. That will be fine, I will tell her later when I find her, probably at the dango shop. Asuma said, starting to laugh along with everyone else, knowing Anko that's probably where she actually was, and believe it or not she was. Everyone else made their requests, but Asuma's request was the only one that stood, and Hiruzen didn't do it because of Asuma being his son, he did it because he knew Naruto had a strong connection with Ino, Shika, and Choji. Plus Naruto is well acquainted with Asuma and Anko, with the two of them being his godparents. Now if that is all, I have some damn paperwork to get back to, unfortunately. Hiruzen said, giving everyone a little chuckle. Flash forward to Naruto's graduation day. If I could have your attention everyone, I will announce the teams. Haruka said. He got through teams 1 to 6 and then there was team 7. Team 7 will consist of Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, and Sai. Your Jonin leader will be Kakashi Haddock. You shall meet him when he gets here. Haruka said. So moving on to team 8, Hinata Hyuga, Shino Aburam, and Kiba Inuzuka. Your Jonin leader shall be Kurenai Haddock. Haruka said, then got on with team 10. There is already a team 9, so team 10 will be with the following: Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akimichi and Naruto Haddock, along with another Kunoichi who won't be joining you for another 6 months. Your Jonin leaders, and yes I said leaders, will be Asuma Sarutobi as the main leader and Anko Mitarashi as the secondary leader. Asuma has requested for you 4 to go to the top of the roof for your team meeting. Haruka said with tears starting to fill his eyes up. To think that you kids are now ninja makes me so proud. Haruka said, full out crying now. Everyone rolled their eyes, and Naruto was the first to hop out the window to head up to the roof, followed closely by the Ino Shikacho trio. The 4 young genin got to the top to find Asuma and Anko, finding out a place to do their training. Anko suggested training ground 44 or the Forest of Death, but Anko liked to think of it as her personal backyard. Asuma thought they should go to training ground 10. Both of the lovers were so focused on finding a training area that they never realized their genin team arrived. Why not train at both areas? Shikamaru asked. Asuma and Anko looked at each other and mentally slapped themselves for not thinking of that at all. We didn't put that into consideration, pineapple hair. Anko snapped back. You two are troublesome. Shikamaru lazily replied to Anko. Just like your father always calling everything troublesome, so why don't you start by introducing yourself? Asuma said. Fine, my name is Shikamaru Nara, my likes are Ino, Go, Shogi, and eating at the pit and cloud watching. My dislikes are losing to Naruto in Go and Shogi and troublesome people. My dream is to be the best Nara known and raise a family. I guess that's it, Asuma and Anko-sensei. Shikamaru said, sighing as he sat on the roof to watch the clouds. You're up, ponytail. Anko said to Ino, signaling the second introduction. Well, my name is Ino Yamanaka, my likes are Shikamaru and flowers and hanging out with my friends. My dislikes are that pink-haired banshee Sakura and that emo freak Sasuke. My dreams are to be the best Kunoichi and raise a family. That's it, I guess. Choji, why don't you go? Ino said, finishing her introduction. Okay, my name is Choji Akimichi, my family own the local pit Shikamaru mentioned earlier, my likes are food, especially steak and pork, and of course my friends. My dislikes are stuck-up people and people who call me the F-word. Choji said before Anko whispered to Naruto a question as to what the F-word Choji was referring to was, hey Naruto, what does Choji mean by the F-word, does he mean fuck or fat fuck? Anko asked, and luckily Choji didn't hear fat, but Naruto replied, try the FAT word. Now if you do call him what you just called him, he will be extremely pissed. If you want to find a fight, just call an Akimichi fat. Naruto replied and explained to Anko and Asuma, who listened in on the mini conversation. Choji continued with his introduction, my dreams are to take over my pa's bar BK pit, show people that even though I'm bigger than most people, I can still be effective as a ninja. That's all for me. Oh wait, I want to raise a family like Shikamaru and Ino. There, that should be everything, looks like you're up, Naruto. Choji said as Naruto got up to speak and introduce himself. Well, that leaves me, y'all know me, I'm Naruto Haddock, my likes are my Tima-chan, my friends and my family and Ramen from Ichiraku's, my dislikes would have to be that annoying pink-haired banshee and her weak Sasuke-kun, plus anyone who tries to hurt my friends and family. My dream is to marry Tamari-chan and raise a family with her and become Hokage, so I can prove I am the best ninja in the leaf and protect everyone in it, even if they hate me and I them. Naruto said as he finished and sat down to hear what Asuma and Anko had to say. Well, thanks for the introductions. Asuma and I have agreed that every other day you will train at training ground 10 and training ground 44. Tomorrow we'll meet right here and go to training ground 44. So get some sleep and bring all of your equipment for tomorrow, trust me you'll need it. Anko said, smirking, then left with Asuma. Well, why don't we go out and celebrate our little victory of becoming genin guys? Choji said, hoping they would agree and they could all go out and get some barbecue. Sorry Choj, I got to go home and train with Autumn-san and see who he got along with, who Oda-chan got for her team. After tomorrow we will definitely get some food Choji, I promise you that. So Shika, what are y'all gonna do now that we have the rest of the day to ourselves? Naruto explained, then asked. Well, and I are going to walk around the village and just go wherever we may go. What about you Choji, any plans for you? Shikamaru asked one of his best friends. No plans, that's why I was hoping we could go and get some food, but if you guys already have plans that's cool. I'll just head home. Choji said with his head hanging and walking to his home, very sad. Everyone else had already gotten plans to do and he had the rest of the day without anything to do. Man, I feel bad brushing Choj off, don't you Shikamaru, Naruto asked two of his best friends. Yeah, I kinda feel bad for brushing him off. Maybe we can find something to do first, as long as it's not troublesome or anything like that. Shikamaru stated. I'm fine as long as I can stay away from the flower shop for a little while. Said. I could use some time before training with Autumn-san, so where should we go? I noticed Anko smirking when she said we would be at training ground 44 tomorrow, so why not scout out the place to see what we're up against? Naruto said. Shikamaru and Ino nodded at the idea and they caught up with Choji that they changed their minds and found where they wanted to go for the time being. Hey Choji, wait up, Ino said as she ran to catch up with Choji to tell him the news. Huh? Choji said, looking over his shoulder to see a smiling Ino running at him with Naruto and Shikamaru grinning and following Ino. Hey Ino, what's up? Choji said, still a little saddened about what happened earlier. We were thinking about your offer and we came to the conclusion that we could all have some time from our parents, Naruto with his training with Kakashi, Shikamaru getting nagged from his mother and me with working at the flower shop. So we decided to go and see how much of training ground 44 we could scout out, so what do you say Choji, will you come with us? Ino asked. Sure, why not, any advantage we can have we should take it. Choji said. Good, let's head over there now before we lose any light. Naruto said, walking up to Ino and Choji with Shikamaru. Naruto and the gang all left for training ground 44 with all of their supplies should anything or anyone attack them. Remember Naruto, we have to be on alert at all times since this is foreign territory to us. Shikamaru said. I know that Shika, we need to find a place where we can put our stuff in, so when we have training with Asuma and Anko, we'll have a base with all of our things in it, that's why I brought 50% of my weapons with me in these scrolls. Naruto answered Shikamaru as he showed him and the rest of the team the scrolls. Now let's find a good spot hidden away and that no one else would find. If we have to make out ourselves then we'll do it. Besides, I overheard a rumor when my dad went to a meeting with the Hokage. He said that the second stage of the Chunin exams held here in Konoha might be the Forest of Death or training ground 44. Either way we should find a spot, so if we do have to come here for the exams, we are 100% ready for what this place has to throw at us. Naruto said with his usual smile. Hey Naruto, what about that spot right over there? It's out of the way and underground, so it would be hard for anyone to detect us. Ino said, hoping inside that they could quickly get out of the Forest of Death as she was starting to get a little unsettled about the place. She felt like something or someone was watching them and she was starting to get a really bad feeling about being here in the forest. Ino, calm down, everything will be alright. Shikamaru said. He's right, the three of us won't let anything bad happen to you, just stay calm and we can work through this together. Naruto said, looking back at her and giving her a reassuring smile. I'll send down a clone to scout out the place, if it's big enough we may be able to put more than just weapons in there. Naruto said as he sent down a clone to check out the place and make sure that everything checked out. The rest of the team sat on branches surrounding the area with their backs to the possible hideout spot in case Ino's feeling of something watching them was correct. Unfortunately, it was as a giant snake that was at least 25 feet from one side of its head to the other and around 45 to 50 feet long, with two razor-sharp fangs. Spread out, get enough room between each other and let me come up with a plan. Shikamaru said. You heard him, spread out. Naruto shouted. Shikamaru got into his signature thinking pose and almost instantaneously came up with a plan to take down the snake. Guys, we're going to call this counter-attack Haddock. Ino, get ready with your mind destruction jutsu. Naruto, get ready to make some clones. And Choji, be ready to use your family's partial expansion jutsu when I give the signal. Shikamaru yelled to the rest of his team. What about you Shika? Choji asked. I already have that under control, shadow strangle jutsu success. Ino now. Shikamaru yelled out, giving order after order. Right, mind transfer jutsu. Ino yelled as her soul went into the snake and her body collapsed on a tree branch. Naruto now, use your shadow clones and give this overgrown snake the beating of a lifetime. We don't know how long Ino can last inside the snake. Choji, get ready, you're almost up. Shikamaru continued to give out orders. Right, multi-shadow clone jutsu. Naruto yelled and 1,000 Narutos jumped at the snake, guys execute the Haddock barrage. Naruto yelled and his clones knew exactly what to do. The clones created a chain link of themselves and grabbed Naruto and threw him in the air. Next a clone flew above him and flipped him to where he was facing the ground. That dispersed, another clone was quick behind him and channeled chakra into his hand, then grabbed the real Naruto and threw him towards the snake at great speed. Naruto was spinning and kicked the snake right behind the head leading with his heel, Haddock barrage. Naruto yelled as he connected his attack on the snake. Once the blow connected, the dust and dirt on the ground made a huge cloud that even the Hokage who was looking out of his office window saw, and he soon took off to see what was going on. His fear was that Orochimaru had returned. Naruto landed on the ground and dispelled all of his clones, and Ino left the snake's mind right before the blow. "Damn, that took a lot out of me," Naruto said with his right arm covering his stomach and his left arm slung over Ino, who recovered rather quickly. "Choji, breath, finish, breath it now." Naruto yelled, wanting this to be over with and return home after they placed all of their stuff in their hideout. "I'm on it, partial expansion jutsu." Choji yelled as his hands grew to enormous proportions. "Ah." Choji yelled as he was going to crush the snake's head by clapping his two huge hands together, but was suddenly stopped by a voice. "Wait." Came the voice. Choji immediately stopped the motion of his hands and looked around to see where the voice was coming from, and it was coming from the snake that Choji was about to smash its brains out. "Choji, hold up, I think I know why the snake can talk to us and we can hear it," Naruto said as he approached the snake without the help of Ino. "There are only two people that have the snake summoning contract, now are you Anko's or her former S-class missing Nin-sensei or Orochimaru? Choose the wrong answer and it will seal your fate," Naruto said with ice and brutality in his voice, something none of his friends had ever heard from him, not even his best friends with him right now. "I am a summon from Anko, that not traitorous bastard Orochimaru. I was summoned by Anko to guard this forest. I saw your chakra signature and thought that you were an enemy, so I came to attack, but now I see that you know Anko. Please do tell as to how you have come to know her. She is on the wild side at some times, so I'm curious as to how a 12-year-old boy and his friends would know her," the snake said. "Well, for starters, she's my godmother, but I call her Aunt Anko, and secondly, she's going to be our sensei alongside her boyfriend Asuma Sarutobi," Naruto said. "I can't believe she's actually settling down and finding a mate, is he good to her?" the snake said, dragging out the last part to get Naruto's name. Naruto Haddock, and yes, he's been very good. Anko has told me that Asuma is the first guy to ever want to have a relationship with her that doesn't involve sex 24/7, and he doesn't care about her past because he knows that she had absolutely nothing to do with it," Naruto said. At the local dango shop. "Achoo," went Anko and Asuma as they looked at each other curiously. "Looks like someone is thinking about us, aren't they, Anko?" Asuma said jokingly. "I guess so, I wonder who it could be," Anko said as she tried to think of who it could possibly be. Back with Naruto. "Yes, I know about that. She's told me the last 3 men she went out with only wanted to go out with her because of her quote-unquote huge tits or huge rack. The men only wanted to have sex with her, and while she did enjoy it at some times when she was stressed out and it was the best stress reliever she had beside masturbation, she didn't feel like she was truly being loved and appreciated. I hope this Asuma person can not only please her in bed but out of bed as well," the snake said. "Oh, I'm sorry, how rude of me. My name is Midora, Anko's personal summon, and who are your friends, Naruto-sama?" Midora inquired. "Please, just Naruto will be fine. This is Ino Yamanaka from the Yamanaka clan," Naruto started. "Pleased to meet you, Midora," Ino said as she bowed, paying her respects to Midora. "Oh, the Yamanaka clan is very good with mind jutsus if I recall, and with the name of Ino you must be Inoichi's daughter, am I right?" Midora asked, laughing a little bit. "Yes, that would be correct, Midora. May I ask how you know my father?" Ino asked. "Why don't you ask your father for that story? Ask him for the first time we met each other, he'll know what I'm talking about," Midora said, winking at Ino and laughing a little bit. "This over here is Shikamaru Nara, hailing from the Nara clan," Naruto said to Midora, introducing Shika to Midora. "Pleased to meet you, Midora," Shikamaru said in his usual bored tone. "Ah, Nara, you must be very intelligent if you are from the Nara clan, and by the way you look, I would have to guess you got all of your father's genes." Shikaku Nara, yes, Midora said, smirking a little, knowing that she was absolutely correct. "You know my father? Is it the same story as the one for Ino, Midora?" Shikamaru asked. "Yes, indeed, it would be Shikamaru. And you must be Choza's boy. Tell me, what's your name, young Akimichi?" Midora said, shifting her attention away from Ino and Shikamaru to Choji. "I would be Choji Akimichi from the Akimichi clan, as you have already deduced, Midora. And I'll go out on a limb saying that you know all of our parents from the same mission or event, is that correct?" Choji asked Midora. Yes, that would be correct, except for the fact that I never met the White Fang of the Leaf Sun in person. Anko has only mentioned or told me about him, so you would be the first Haddock I have ever met, and I am certainly pleased to meet you, Naruto Haddock. So if I may ask, what are the four of you doing out here? Midoriya continued on with the conversation. Wait, hold up, Shikamaru interrupted, forgive me, but could you tell us how you met our fathers? Shikamaru asked. Of course, you see, your fathers were still Chunin, and Anko was already a Jonin, so she led them on a mission, and we got into a fight with Orochimaru. Anko summoned me and your fathers were terrified from seeing me the first time. Anyway, after the fight, each of your fathers had a huge crush on Anko, first was Shikaku, but soon found love in another woman, and they broke up. Next was Choza, and he treated her like a queen, but it was the same for him, his heart lied with someone else. Then there was Inoichi, whom Anko thought she would live with forever, but work got between them, and soon they broke up. Eventually she moved on from them and has tried to find some other man that will protect her and not care about her past with Orochimaru. Midoriya said before Shikamaru cut in. Was it our fathers who slept with Anko 24/7, or were there 3 other men who did that? Shikamaru asked, hoping it wasn't their parents, or else he would be extremely pissed at his father for going so low. No, it wasn't any of them. In fact, Anko never had sex with any of them. After the breakup with Inoichi, Anko kept getting drunk every single night, and eventually she thought she found her man, but again she was wrong. All he wanted was to use her as a baby maker and fuck her whenever, wherever. It was like that for the 2 that came after that scum. I will tell you, Anko told me she did enjoy having sex, getting fucked every night and being driven to an orgasm, but she never truly felt loved, so she promised to never fall for a man, but seeing as she's dating again, your sensei must be a very worthy man to spend time with her. How long have they been going out, Naruto? Midoriya asked. For about a year or so. I'm pretty sure Asuma is going to ask for her hand in marriage, but I don't know when. Naruto lied to everyone there. He knew damn well when Asuma was going to ask, but he kept it a secret, knowing the time will come. As for why we're here, Anko-sensei told us to meet her here for tomorrow. Any idea why, Midoriya? You are her personal summon after all. Naruto said. No, I have no idea. Midoriya lied right back at Naruto. Oh well, then I guess we should be on our way then, see ya, Midoriya. Naruto said before his team leapt into the trees and waited for Midoriya to leave the area so they could put their weapons in the new base that one of Naruto's clones had scouted out while they were talking. How's the place, Naruto? Choji asked. Perfect, Choji, we'll put all of our stuff once Midoriya is out of sight. Naruto said. Minus 30 minutes later. Naruto's clones had scouted out the entire Forest of Death and now he knew it like the back of his hand and drew out maps for Ino, Shika, and Choji to memorize for when they had their test. They had no idea about tomorrow. Naruto and his group left getting sleep for tomorrow's big day. The next day. Naruto and the rest of Team 10 arrived at the gates of Training Ground 44 and they looked at each other and nodded to one another. You guys have this down pat? Naruto asked. You bet. Ino replied with a smile. Without a doubt. Shikamaru said, grinning. You know it. Choji said. But you all remember where home is, right? Naruto asked again. Yes. They all replied. Before Naruto could get another word out, Anko interrupted them from her spot on top of the gate. Well, looks like you children got a good night's sleep. Now here is your test. You have to strip me naked, that means every piece of clothing off of me. Anko said, grinning. Asuma was there as well, and he collapsed from the huge nosebleed he got thinking of seeing Anko naked again for the second time in less than 10 hours. They fucked the night before. Choji and Shikamaru fell next to Asuma with nosebleeds of their own, and surprisingly Ino had one of her own. Naruto was the only one who didn't get one, partly because he never fantasized seeing Anko naked, only imagining what Temari would look like now if she was naked, so it was pointless to try to get Naruto to think of Anko that way. Ahahaha, wow, the 4 of you are such perverts, except for maybe my Asuma-kun. Anko said, laughing her ass off, not expecting the reaction she received. What's the real test, Anko? Naruto asked, getting a little irritated. That's Anko-sensei to you when we are a team, at home Aunt Anko or just plain old Anko is fine, but when we are together as a team, it will be Anko-sensei, got Naruto. Anko said more than asked. Yes, Anko-sensei. Naruto replied, rolling his eyes and still speaking in his bored tone. But your test is to survive for a full day. Anko started. I will send out summons to attack you, but not kill you. They will have killing intent, but they won't do it. Anko said. Like Midoriya, Anko-sensei. Naruto asked, grinning for what was to come next. How do you know Midoriya, Naruto? Anko asked in disbelief. We had a run-in the other day. Naruto said, still grinning. Explain now. Anko said, getting angry with her nephew. That would be for my team to know and you and Asuma-sensei to find out, so if you will I'll be taking the rest of my team into the Forest of Death to start. See you tomorrow morning, Aunt Anko. Naruto said, still smiling while waving back at Anko and carrying Ino on his back while Shikamaru and Choji recovered from the loss of blood. Oh, and Anko, if I wanted to I could give you a nosebleed worse than the four of theirs combined. Naruto said as he hopped off into the woods. Damn you Naruto Haddock. Anko muttered. Asuma, get up, we have the whole day to ourselves. I hope you know what you're in for. I've planned this out for a while, so hurry up and meet me at my place. I wouldn't want to give you your surprise and have the Hokage walk in on it. Anko said, smirking, hoping to get another nosebleed from Asuma. And she soon did. Unfortunately for her, she had to carry him back to the village and to the hospital for him to recover. Flash forward to the next day. Anko had come to check up on how well Team 10 did in their survival test to officially become genin. To her surprise, she couldn't find them and summoned Midora, who said that she never saw the now genin either. What do you mean you never encountered them? You sent out the rest of the summons like I asked you to, write, Midora? Anko asked, angry at how 4 ninja that weren't yet genin could outdo a snake summon from a Takubetsu Jonin. The whole time Team 10 was hiding in their hideout undetected by Midora and her snakes. Naruto woke up the rest of his team after he felt Anko's presence approach them. Hey Shikamaru, wake up, Anko is coming our way, no doubt she's pissed on Midora not finding us the whole night. Naruto said. Alright, I'll get the others up, yawn Ino. Choji, get up, Anko's coming our way and she's pissed, so unless you want to find out what she'll do when she's pissed, wake up. Shikamaru said to the both of them. Okay, we're up, Shika. Geez, did we pass the test or fail? Ino asked. We're about to find out, Ino, so get up and get ready, we may have to fight Anko as a part of the test. Everyone grab your kunai and shuriken, prepare for the worst. Naruto said as he waited for everyone else to get prepared for a fight that may not even happen. Anko-sensei, we survived just like you told us to, so what do we do now? Naruto said, acting as normal as possible. Where the hell have you four been? Midora couldn't find you even when she sent out snakes of her own. Where the hell did y'all hide for 24 hours? Anko screamed at them, somewhat impressed that Midora could never find them in a full day's time. Well, we found an opening underground and we checked it out to see if we could all stay there and we could actually fit 35 to 40 people if there was an emergency like an invasion. Naruto replied to a very impressed Anko. Really, 35 to 40 people, how the fuck did I not find this? Anko said, thinking out loud to herself. Yeah, Naruto even put up half of his weapon supply in there, the rest are at Tenten's and the house. We even brought out non-perishable foods for whenever we may need to use this place, but I doubt we'll have to use it for an emergency. Shikamaru said, joining in on the conversation. I have to admit I'm impressed with you four, and as a reward you are all promoted to the level of genin. Anko said with her grin spreading from one ear to the other. I see, Shikamaru started. We were never really genin until we passed this test. The test at the academy was to see if we were smart enough to be a genin. This test, Shikamaru was interrupted by Ino, and this test was to see if we were actually capable of being a genin. Ino said, finishing up Shikamaru's thought. Well, she smiled at him, knowing she sort of got him pissed off, but he shrugged it off, knowing it was Ino just trying to play with him. Correct again. You guys really are the best from the academy, but you guys do have both the Shinobi and Kunoichi of the year, so how do you not have a kick-ass team like yours? Plus, I'll let you in on a little secret about the team assignments. Anko said, drawing the attention of all four now genin level ninja, as they wanted for Anko to continue before their heads blew up from the anxiety. Asuma was the only one that got his requested team. He requested for Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akimichi, Naruto Haddock, and lastly Temari Haddock. Naruto's eyes grew wide when Anko said the last part, cause he almost forgot that after the Chunin exams, Temari would become a Leaf Kunoichi and live with him full time. Naruto now had mixed emotions going on within himself. He was just fucking overjoyed that Temari was going to be on his team, but on the same token he was terrified that Temari would be extremely pissed that he had forgotten to send a letter or two to her when she left, and terrified that she might have found a more worthy boyfriend. But what Naruto didn't know was that Temari had been waiting for the year that she would turn 15, because that was the year that both Gaara and Naruto would become genin, and she would be able to see her fiancé after 6 years. She wondered how much he had changed, if he was ripped, tall and handsome like she thought he would be. And she would be correct, the only thing she didn't know was how Naruto looked. Naruto's yellow hair had grown out a bit, but definitely not to the length of the fourth Hokage's. He was the strongest one in his class, and stronger than those in the year before him. And on top of that, Naruto was at 4'7", which is short for a ninja of the age of 12, usually they are from 4'9", but with his short stature, he had a bit of a weight advantage going for him, about 20 pounds more than the average ninja his age. All of this was making a perfect track for Naruto to become the perfect ninja. So to put it to short terms, he has become the king of studs. Everywhere he went with his friends he knew there were girls drooling when he passed by them. He had even caught Ino, Tenten, and Hinata looking at him, and while he was flattered in a sense, something inside him told him to not make a move on them, and he didn't. Naruto shrugged this feeling off thinking it was a gut feeling or an instinct, but it wasn't, it was the Kyuubi trying to talk to him, but the fourth Hokage put such an advanced seal on Naruto that it would take a shitload of time to get through to Naruto unless he was rendered unconscious and then forced to speak to Kyuubi. Anyway, back to Naruto not sending any letters to Temari. He is thinking that Temari is going to rip his head off, then feed it to some wild animals, but there will be none of that bullshit in my story because the third Hokage has been saving Naruto's ass yet again. He has been sending letters to Temari telling her about how Naruto is doing and that there will be a huge celebration once he becomes a genin and that she's invited to come and join to celebrate his accomplishment. Now Asuma had caught up with his team and got up to date with everything and congratulated them on becoming official genin for Konoha. Word was sent to Kakashi and Kurenai about this and they were told to meet at the Akimichi pit for a party. Even the Hokage got word of this and said that he would join in on the celebration for Team 10. Minus 30 minutes later. Everyone was at the Akimichi pit having the time of their lives. It wasn't until they finished their lunch that Kakashi stood up and spoke to the group. I'll be throwing one of my legendary parties to congratulate the best class of genin this village has seen since our very own. Kakashi was referring to everyone that you know of in this story and some others not mentioned yet. So in 3 days there will be a party at the Haddock residence, don't worry about food and drinks, we got that covered, and Choji, yes Kakashi-sensei. Choji asked looking confused as hell. I have asked Choza to cater bar BK to the house, so I know you'll enjoy the party. Choji with anime tears, thank you so much Kakashi-sensei. Choji said while crying. Naruto, someone of extreme importance is coming to see you the same night of the party, so don't get drunk or anything. Kakashi said before he leaned in to whisper something that only Naruto would hear, between the two of us I honestly give zero fucks if you get drunk, just don't get a hangover to where you end up sleeping with the wrong girl, trust me, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Kakashi said smiling at Naruto when he pulled away from him and sat normally. End of flashback. Naruto had a confused look on his face but just decided to go with the flow. Everyone was having a good time making jokes and just relaxing with doesn't happen too much when you become a shinobi for any hidden village, but then someone that only the Hokage was expecting walked in. Hi, I'm here for the Team 10 celebration, Hokage-sama invited me. Sorry I'm late. Temari said drawing the attention of Naruto. Wow, she's so beautiful, but I feel like I've seen her before, but where? Naruto thought. Ah, Temari, how nice of you to join us. Hiruzen said making Naruto have an enormous nosebleed. Naruto's nosebleed was fucking huge and was out for a few minutes, but he eventually woke up and rose out of his seat and said what came to his mind, Temari. After they get used to being with each other, Temari's team along with Team Asuma get a joint C-rank mission. This is where they will fight Zabuza Mamachi for round 1. On with the story. Temari. Naruto said, only able to recognize his fiancée by her sandy blonde hair put up in 4 ponytails. Naruto was just absolutely shocked that Temari had showed up to celebrate him being a genin when she could have stayed home to celebrate Gaara becoming a genin, but she chose Naruto over her own brother. Naruto got up and gave her hug, with Temari being 5'2" and Naruto being 4'7", his head rested on top of her mid-C cup breasts. Temari was a bit taken aback, but she wrapped her arms around Naruto and returned the hug. The parents and other jonin were grinning at this and the rest of the rookie genin present, which is everyone from the anime minus Sakura, Sai and Sasuke, didn't remember Temari seeing as Naruto's family spent the most time with her the last time she was in Konoha. Naruto didn't want to let go of Temari because she smelled so good, like a sandy breeze, and Temari didn't want to let go of Naruto because he smelled like an open field with a breeze, just kidding, he smells like Raymond duh. After a while Naruto let go and looked up at Temari and smiled at her, you look amazing my sand princess. Naruto said taking a look at what Temari was wearing, starting from what was closest to her skin, Temari had on a purple bra with matching purple panties. She had the fishnet armor that covered her shoulders and then went down to cover her biceps, it went down past her bust and went down to her waist where it stopped on her right side but continued down to the top of her knee on her left side. The right side had a piece from under her knee to above her ankle where she wore black shinobi sandals. She wore a light purple garment that wasn't on her shoulders and went down to the middle of her thighs, her headband was wrapped around her neck and to top off her outfit, she had a black battle fan held in place on her back by a scarlet sash that wrapped around her waist. And you look amazing yourself my golden fox kun. Temari said making Naruto's cheeks start to heat up. Temari took a look at Naruto and saw that he was well built for someone his age and followed Naruto to his seat where she sat down on his lap since all of the seats were filled. His friends all threw smirks at him, but he rolled his eyes at them. Temari was getting caught up on everything that had happened in the last 6 years. She learned that 2 years after Temari left and returned home to the sand village, Kurenai gave birth to a baby boy and named him Arashi Haddock, forgot to put him in the last chapter, but with it being a flashback and all it was kinda hard to fit it in somewhere, so I thought why not here. Anyway, continuing with the story, Arashi was now 4 years old and he had started at the same time Naruto started to train as well. He was just like Naruto in every aspect, except for the fact that Arashi can only do basic Kenjutsu. His Kenjutsu is nowhere near what Naruto was at when he was 4, and lastly, there was pretty much no shot at him being able to learn space-time jutsu. Arashi will be strong, but not to the level of Naruto, but the one thing he showed great promise in was Genjutsu like his mother. This came naturally to him, whereas Naruto had to train his ass off to get to where he is now, but Naruto was still a kick-ass ninja which he will display when a certain pink-haired and emo faggot walk into the pit. "What are you doing here, dope?" Sasuke asked glaring at Naruto. "What do you think he's doing? He's celebrating with the rest of the hidden leafs genin that actually show promise," Temari said before Naruto could respond to Sasuke. "Oh shit," Naruto said to where only his friends could hear. "What's wrong?" Shikamaru asked, wondering what was going on in Naruto's head. "Well, before Gaara left he told me to never piss off Temari to where she goes into her stages of anger as he put it. I had no idea what he meant back then, but now I know, he even named the stages as well," Naruto said as Temari got out of Naruto's lap and stood up facing the Uchiha scum. "Want to repeat that again, Uchiha?" Temari threatened, reaching back and grabbing her fan. Stage 1, Naruto said as all of the Jonin instructors and even the Hokage randomly pulled out a notepad and pen and started to take down notes. "Want to repeat that again, stage?" Naruto said as everyone else wrote this down in their notepads. "I said how much does the dope pay you to get his sucked?" Sasuke spat right back at Temari. Temari pulled off her fan and opened it to reveal all 3 stars and started to bring it back before Naruto got up to intervene. "If you will excuse me," Naruto said as he got up and had 2 kunai ready to go. "I'll make you suck your own if you have one, you Uchiha bastard," Temari said as she started to bring her fan forward before Naruto grabbed it and looked at Temari telling her he'd handle this. "You know, now I really don't know who wears the pants in your relationship, you dope," Sasuke said as this was the tipping point for Naruto. He was already pissed off that Sasuke called Temari, but calling her An in the same minute was grounds for attacking the person, but this time Naruto was able to attack freely since Sasuke had started to go through the hand signs of a jutsu, fire style. Fireball Sasuke started but was cut off when Naruto threw the 2 kunai he had at Sasuke and he was pinned to the wall 6 inches off the ground. The kunai didn't go through Sasuke's shoulders but came pretty damn close. Naruto pulled out his katana that Tenten had given him as a reward for beating her and this let everyone know he was serious. Anko and Asuma were about to get up before Kakashi spoke to them. "You two need to sit down, Naruto will handle this in a way that is proper. Trust me," Kakashi said giving his famous eye smile. Anko and Asuma reluctantly sat down to watch how this would play out. Naruto put the katana that he named the Sword of Kami to Sasuke's neck. He named it this because he felt a great power surge within him whenever he touched the sword and it was true the sword did have some of Kami's power as this was one Kami used himself. Then Sakura decided to be the she is at this moment of all fucking moments, "Don't hurt my Sasuke-kun you baka," she said making Naruto turn his head to look at her. "Shut up," Naruto said with killer intent. "Shut up Haruno, you are a disgrace to what a true kunoichi is. You want an example of a true kunoichi because I can give you 3 right now. Temari could wipe the floor with your pink-haired ass. Ino won the best fucking kunoichi of the year award at the academy for crying out loud and Iruka-sensei told me that you didn't even crack the top 10 for that award. And don't even get me started on how many ways Tenten would kick your ass with her arsenal of weaponry, but if you don't believe me go ahead and fight them all and you'll see firsthand. So I suggest you shut up right now before I come over there and slice you into a million pieces, literally. Is that understood?" Naruto yelled at Sakura before she broke down in tears and ran out of the restaurant and he focused on Sasuke who had complete fear in him but hid it with a smug look on his face. While all of this was going on Temari was getting turned on a bit and she had no idea why. She thought it was because he was so hot to her, but she realized that it was because of how in an instant he could go from laid back to taking control of a situation. This made her start to heat up more and more as the situation prolonged. Naruto had his sword up to Sasuke's neck and spoke to where only Sasuke could hear him. "If you ever call any of the women over at that table a whore, skank or anything of that nature that I don't approve of, this sword will go through your neck," Naruto said as red chakra started to surround his body and Naruto was taking into his mindscape. Well, we finally meet young kid. I have to admit you are growing to become quite the ninja if I say so myself. Do you know who I am?" Kurama asked. "No, why should I?" Naruto replied. "Because I'm the Kyuubi no Kitsune, or as your people call me the Nine-Tailed Fox," Kurama said back to Naruto. "That's impossible, the Nine Tails was killed by Lord Fourth, how can you be inside of me?" Naruto said getting frustrated. "I was never killed, no, the Fourth just merely sealed me inside a newborn on October 10th, which is your birthday Naruto, you are the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed Fox," Kurama said. We will talk later, but for now you have more important things to attend to like the HS come in your face. Kurama continued before Naruto was pushed out of his mindscape back into the real world, where Sasuke tried to pull one of the kunai out of his shirt, but Naruto grabbed his hand and slammed it to the wall, with his knuckles touching the wall. Then Naruto grabbed another kunai and shoved this one through Sasuke's palm, making him cry out a blood-curdling cry that the whole village heard. Sasuke tried to use his other free hand to escape, but Naruto did the same with his hand, and Sasuke let out another cry of pain. After a few minutes Naruto showed mercy and relived Sasuke of the kunai through his palms and the ones pinning him to the wall. Sasuke stood up and was about to send a jutsu at Naruto before he turned around and punched him in the gut so hard he spat up blood, curled over and flew outside hitting and breaking the first 5 trees he came in contact with. The red chakra surrounding Naruto receded and he returned to his seat without another word. The Hokage got looks from the Jonin that told him that this was the best time for Naruto to learn of his heritage and the fox. "Thank you Naru-kun," Temari said to Naruto resting her head on his chest. "I will never let anyone bash you Tima-chan," Naruto said wrapping his arms around Temari not wanting to let go of her in fear that she'll leave him once she finds out he's the Jinchuriki of the 9 tails. "Naruto, is everything okay? You're holding me pretty tight and it's starting to hurt," Temari said. "I'm sorry, I didn't know, I was just thinking about something. I'm really sorry about hurting you," Naruto said looking sad. "It's okay, but let's just enjoy the remainder of the night," Temari said grinning at Naruto. "Okay, anything for my sand princess," Naruto said grinning right back at Temari. "Naruto, I need to have a word with you in my office now," Hiruzen said. "Everyone please follow the Hokage, this involves all of you including us Jonin," Kakashi said. -5 minutes later at the Hokage's office. "The Jonin here know exactly why they are here, but you Genin do not. At least I don't think you do. Naruto, the red chakra that surrounded you, do you know where the chakra came from?" Hiruzen asked. "I think I may have an idea, but how does it affect the rest of my Genin friends?" Naruto asked. "Well, first, if you really think you know where it comes from, tell me and I'll tell you if you're right," Hiruzen said. "The Kyuubi no Kitsune gave me its chakra, Jiji-san," Naruto said. "How did know that, Naruto?" Hiruzen asked, shocked that Naruto knew that he had the fox within him. "I spoke to him at the pit. He told me that the 4th Hokage never killed him, he just sealed him within me on the day of my birth. I understand why he did it, but why me of all people, Jiji-san?" Naruto asked with a sad glint in his eyes. "Lord 4th chose you because," Hiruzen started before he looked at Kakashi and Kurenai and both gave him a nod of confidence. "He chose you because you are his son. Naruto Haddock, your birth name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. They both died the night the fox attacked the village and you are the village's Jinchuriki Naruto Uzumaki Haddock Namikaze." Naruto turned around to look at his friends and fiancé smiling at him. He thought they wouldn't want anything to do with him, but they showed him that they didn't care. They never saw him for the demon itself, they saw him for Naruto Uzumaki Haddock Namikaze. "You guys don't care about me being the Jinchuriki?" Naruto asked his friends. Kiba spoke what was on everyone's mind. "Hell no, this just makes you more badass if anything," Kiba said, making everyone laugh at his comment and how easy he lightened the mood. "Well, now that this is over, Naruto, you have the choice of where you and your fiancé live. You can continue to live at the Haddock residence or you can go and live at the Namikaze compound with Temari and it will be your decision as to whether Kurenai and Kakashi live with you. Your father has also put aside a bank account just for you in the Namikaze name and your mother did the same, but in the Uzumaki name, and to go along with that, since you are the last living heir that we know of to both clans, you will receive income for the efforts both clans had in the war, especially from the Uzumaki clan," Hiruzen said to Naruto as everyone started to leave. "Thank you Jiji-san, really this means a lot to me," Naruto said as he wrapped an arm around Temari's waist and started to lead her out before Hiruzen spoke up one more time. "You're welcome Naruto and Naruto." "Yes, Jiji-san," Naruto responded turning back to the Hokage. "Your father, Minato, built a house just for you. He told me these directions, go to his head then go back 500 meters, your house will be there. I have never personally seen it, but he's told me that it's very nice, the two of you should spend the night over there by yourselves, I think you two need to catch up," Hiruzen said. "Oh shit," Naruto said. "What is it Naruto?" Hiruzen said worriedly. "I haven't used the chakra paper to find my affinity, Temari, what are you?" Naruto said. "I'm wind and water, that combo is pretty rare in our village," Temari said smiling. Everyone who heard Naruto turned around and came back to the room. "Is everything okay?" Anko said. "Yes, Naruto here has informed me that you guys don't yet know your chakra affinity. Is this true?" Hiruzen said starting to smirk. "Shit, Asuma, how the hell did we fucking forget about that?" Anko exclaimed. "Haha, don't worry, the Hokage has some chakra paper with him, if you would Hokage-sama," Asuma said. Of course, genin, if you would please come forward. Hiruzen said as the genin stepped forward and he gave each of them a piece of chakra paper and told them what to do. Once every one of the genin had gone, they were waiting for Naruto to do his. Up to this point Temari was wind and water, Shikamaru was water and fire, odd combo don't you think, Choji was earth and fire, Ino was fire and water, damn another fire and water combo, Hinata water and earth, Shino was lightning and fire, Kiba was fire and earth, Niji is earth and fire, and Tenten was fire and wind. And finally it was Naruto's turn to go, he looked at his friends who gave a nod of confidence. Naruto took a deep breath and channeled the chakra into the paper, and once he did, something bizarre happened. Instead of cutting, crumpling, getting wet, turning to dust or turning to ash, Naruto's piece of chakra paper blew up in his face. Kakashi had a stunned look on his face, as well as the rest of the Jonin and Genin, but Naruto looked completely confused. He did what he was told to do, but instead of slicing in half or some shit it fucking blows up. Who the hell ever heard of a white piece of paper without anything on blow up? Didn't think so. Anyways, Hiruzen walked up to Naruto, whose expression said it all. What the hell was that? Naruto. Hiruzen started. Yeah, old man, what's up? Why did the paper blow up in my face? I thought it was supposed to do some elemental type shit. Naruto said, looking for answers. Naruto, there has only been one other person in the world that has had this happen, and we don't know if he is actually real or not. Hiruzen continued. You don't mean the Sage of Six Paths, do you? Naruto said, starting to mentally freak out. Yes, that's who I was referring to. He was the first person born with chakra and saved the world from the destruction of the 10 tails. He sealed the husk in what is now the moon and separated his energy into the 9-tailed demon spirits that we know of today. Since you have the Kyuubi, you have the strongest of them all, and last I checked he was the demon lord, so the other demons must obey any command he gives. He can also give and take away bloodline traits like the Sharingan or the Byakugan, for example. He can also create a bloodline Kekkei Genkai like the two I mentioned, but be completely unique. If I remember, the Namikaze clan actually possessed one that the Kyuubi created and granted them, called the Namigan. It's like the Sharingan and Byakugan but better. The main gist is that your eyes turn aqua color and you'll have white swirls like the Sharingan has the Tomo. Now, well, the Sharingan can go up to 3 Tomo, the Namigan has been known to go up to 9 by your father, but I feel that you can make it to 10. I'll go through the stages. 1. Ichi Namigan, this is where you can use wind, water, and lightning affinity without a problem. 2. Mi Namigan, this is where your hand-eye coordination is greatly improved, your vision is enhanced, and your predictability is enhanced, but both are on a lower level than that of the Byakugan or the Sharingan. 3. Rai Namigan, this is the same as the Mi Namigan, but better versions if you will, it lessens the amount of hand signs needed for a wind, water or lightning jutsu. 4. Yan Namigan, this is where you can copy any wind, water and lightning jutsu like the Sharingan, and the predictability is at the same level as a mature Sharingan, and its vision is nearly as good as a Byakugan. 5. Yan Namigan, this is the same as the rest, but the vision becomes as good as a Byakugan, and you can now unlock the Kekkei Genkai for ice, combining wind and water to create this. 6. Yo Namigan, this is when their senses are increased, and in order to open this stage, you need an intense amount of training, which honestly you have done, Naruto. You must go beyond what a normal human can do, and you've proven that again and again. 7. Yoka Namigan, you don't need to weave any hand signs for ice jutsus, and you can now possess the ability to use fire and earth jutsus. 8. Yachi Namigan, the predicting ability is superior to the Sharingan, and the vision surpasses the Byakugan, and no hand signs are required for any of the jutsus. Just think of one, channel the chakra, and let it fly. 9. Yashi Namigan is like the Yachi Namigan, but your vision and predictability is nearly perfect. And to go along with it, the Kekkei Genkais. Wood, storm, lava, boil, ice and dust. 6 nature Kekkei Genkai at your disposal. Since the 10th hasn't been officially named, Naruto, you get to do the honor of naming it. Hiruzen said, smiling while all of the Jonin and Genin were still trying to process all of the information thrown at them. Naruto was surprised by this and looked at Temari, and he knew what he wanted to name it. I know what I want to call it, but first let me talk with Kurama to see how many stages there are since he created it. Naruto said. In Naruto's mind. What can I do for you, kid? Kyuubi said. I was wondering how many stages of the Namigan you created. Naruto replied. Ah, so you finally discovered your family bloodline. As a reward I will grant you the 10th and final stage of the Namigan. I feel that you will need it in the future, but remember to always train it to stay up to date on it. I have also granted you the gift of being able to use all 5 elements that you know of. Match this along with the Namigan, which is superior than the Sharingan and the Byakugan at the perfect stage, and you have the perfect ninja. On the count of 3 you will feel a huge amount of power course through your body. Do not do anything to alter its course. 1, 2, 3. And with that the Kyuubi sent the perfect Namigan to Naruto, and when Naruto opened his eyes, they looked the same until Kyuubi gave him orders. Close your eyes and focus chakra up to them. When you open you should have awakened the Namigan. Go ahead and try it out here before out there. Naruto nodded and did as he was told. He sent chakra to his eyes, and when he opened them he had the 10th and final stage of the Namigan showing. Surrounding each pupil was 5 white swirls and 5 black swirls. Naruto could feel the difference in his surroundings and he loved it. He felt so strong and knew this was a step closer to becoming Hokage. Naruto left his mind and was awake in the real world. So what did he say, Naru-kun? Temari asked. He granted me the 10th and final stage of the Namigan. Its name will be Team Namigan in honor of my fiancée. The new Team Namigan will give me perfect access to all 5 elements, along with wood, ice, boil, lava, dust, and storm Kakashi in case. No hand signs are needed for them, and my vision is perfect, along with my predictability being perfect. Ayubi said this would make me the ultimate ninja once I master this. Would you like to see the Team Namigan? Naruto asked, getting eager nods from everyone. Naruto closed his eyes and channeled chakra to his eyes, and when he opened them the Team Namigan was present. His eye color went from a deep sea blue to an aqua color. Surrounding each pupil were 5 white swirls and 5 black swirls. These swirls are like the Uzumaki swirl. Everyone was amazed at this and so happy for Naruto knowing how hard he has worked. Everyone soon left and Naruto and Temari headed to Namika's house, while Kurenai and Kakashi returned to the Hada compound. Naruto remembered what Hiruzen said about the house. Flashback. Naruto, there is a library in the house's basement. Minato told me that inside he had thousands of scrolls on water, wind, lightning, earth, fire ninjutsu, taijutsu scrolls from your mother, jinjutsu scrolls that Kurenai can help with, kinjutsu scrolls, a couple of them being for katanas. Is that old Jiji-san? That sounds like a lot of work that he went through and just for me, Naruto replied. Actually there are some more types of scrolls, space-time jutsu, which is what made him Konoha's yellow flash, senjutsu which is sage jutsu. He learned this from one of my students, Jiraiya of the Sannin, the Toad Sage. He's actually a pervert, a self-proclaiming one at that. He calls himself a super pervert, but he has always had a crush on one of my other students, Tsunade Senju. As far as I know she's the last Senju, just like you are the last Uzumaki and Namikaze, and if you want the last Hadouken. Actually Arashi could become the heir should anything happen to me, but nothing won't. I'm going to become the greatest Hokage ever, better than my father the 4th Hokage. You'll get there, but anyways my point is that she has been heartbroken for nearly 30 years. She may look 25, but she's really 50. She has a jinjutsu covering that up. I feel that you could possibly match them up together. Like I said, she's been heartbroken since the death of her little brother Nawaki and Dan, who both died in the Second Shinobi World War. Since that day she left the village heartbroken. I believe that you could match the two up because I've seen the way you've changed people for the better. Who knows, maybe you can stop Jiraiya from being a pervert and heal Tsunade's broken heart, and just maybe you can get the two to be with each other. There are now 3 things I want to see happen before I die. One is that I want to see either Tsunade or Jiraiya take my spot. I'll be retiring after the Chunin exams in a month. Second is I want to see you get married to Temari and have children so I can spoil them like I do my own grandson Konohamaru. And third is I want to see you be either Godame Hokage or Rakudame Hokage. Maybe you can inspire Konohamaru to be the Nanadame Hokage. Haha, that would be something to see 3 people I care about dearly become Hokage. Maybe, just maybe, that will come true. Maybe, old man. I'm gonna guess that my father also has some scrolls on Kinjutsu, right? He was an expert from what Kakashi-sensei has told me. Yes, Minato did leave scrolls on that subject, and yes, he was an expert on sealing jutsu. In fact, the seal on your stomach was one that he created by himself. It's very complex, the most complex seal I have ever seen. Your father was a genius in sealing jutsu. I wish I could be as good as he was, but I know for a fact that you'll surpass him in everything you do. You already have something that he never did. Oh, and what would that be, Jiji-san? The Team Namigan. Did you forget he never got that far, only the Yashi Namigan? You are already ahead of him in your family's Kekkei Genkai. Good night, Naruto. Thanks, Jiji-san, and good night to you. Then flashback. Namika's house. Time skip to morning of mission to waves. Naruto woke up to see Temari still fast asleep and smiled seeing how peaceful she looked. Hey, Tima-chan, wake up. Naruto whispered. Haha, Tima-chan, come on, wake up, we have a mission today, remember? Naruto said, still whispering and smiling. Temari turned over facing Naruto and saw his smile. Seeing his smile just made her smile back and they kissed each other a good morning. Just after the kiss both got out of bed and started blushing seeing each other naked. It was still a little weird for both of them seeing each other naked, but they liked it. When Naruto was heading into the bathroom he collapsed on the ground from a headache that his multi-shadow clones gave him. Naruto? What the hell happened? Temari screamed and ran over to his side to see him squeezing his head. Fucking clones. Naruto, what the hell happened to you? Remember those clones I created at night? Well, they all dispelled at the same time. I feel like I just had 500 scrolls worth of knowledge shoved into my brain. Oh, damn, I'm glad I don't have to feel that. Temari said, laughing. Shut up, Tima-chan, this shit really hurts. Naruto said, but he eventually started to laugh with Temari. He pulled Temari up to his chest and wrapped his hands around her waist and just held her there as they were laughing their asses off. Hey Tima-hime, we should really get ready and head up to Jiji-san's office. Okay my foxy-kun. Temari said, getting up and going to the bathroom, swaying her hips, getting the blood to flow south in Naruto's body while some shot out of his nose and he passed out with Temari giggling. Minus 90 minutes later in Hokage's office. Naruto and Temari were the first ones to arrive at the Hokage's office and they were waiting for the rest of Team Asuma and Team Baki to arrive. Once everyone was in the office, the Hokage started with what their mission is to be. Well, and now that both teams are here, I can give you the first joint mission our villages have assigned. You will be bodyguards for a famous bridge builder. You must get him there safely so he can finish building the bridge. Team 10, this is your first mission and it will be a C-ranked mission. This is the first time a genin team fresh out of the academy will be getting a C-ranked mission. Complete this and your team will go further into the history books. With the Chunin exams in a month, I thought this would be the best mission for you to start off with. Asuma, Anko, and Baki, you can decide when you leave, but I would suggest in 2 hours. Tazuna is a bit of an alcoholic. Send him in, by the way. Kakashi's team was also present and Tazuna comes in with a bottle of sake in his hand and was wearing a straw hat. So which team is gonna be guarding me? Cause it better not be the team with Pinky on it, that hair will draw too much attention, but that billboard forehead will probably draw even more attention. Tazuna said, then taking a swig of sake. Ino started to bust out laughing and she couldn't breathe after laughing so much. What else do we have on that team? A gay, an emo faggot, and a pale ass child who needs to be fed some meat. Now this team, Tazuna said, referring to Team 7 before turning his attention to Temari's team and Team Asuma. This team looks like they are actually ninja. Hokage-sama, tell me I don't have that team guarding me, but the two teams with actual ninja. Tazuna said. Tazuna-san, the team that you don't like will not be guarding you, the two will. The team from our village are only genin and this is their first mission, so don't ride their ass so much. Hiruzen said, smiling. Thank you so much, Hokage-sama, I'll be waiting outside for you to get ready. Tazuna said. Everyone went to get their stuff packed and met up at the front gates of Konoha to see Tazuna waiting for them. About damn time you guys showed up, I'm ready to go home. Naruto just rolled his eyes and looked at Temari, who just grinned at him. It was a sunny day that was without a cloud, in fact it hadn't rained in at least a week. After they got out of sight of the village they were walking before Naruto noticed a puddle in the road and knew some weird shit was gonna go down. He nodded at Asuma, who only smirked, and Shikamaru caught this and started to put the pieces together. Then two Chunin level missing ninja popped out of the puddle and had metal claws doused with poison on the fingertips and shuriken chains that connected to the other metal claws. They threw their shuriken chain at Asuma and wrapped him up and then pulled, killing Asuma in an instant. Temari's team and Anko with Choji and Ino surrounded Tazuna and let Naruto and Shikamaru go to work on them. Naruto drew one of his twin katanas and got ready to perform a jutsu that uses fire style and comes out of the sword, but Shikamaru got them trapped in a jutsu of his own, shadow possession jutsu. Success. They're all yours, Naruto, give him a swing of one of the swords of Kami. Shikamaru said. Thanks, but my shadow clones worked on this jutsu for my katana, cloud style. Flame beheading jutsu. Naruto yelled and an arc of flames came from his katana and scorched the demon brothers, knocking them out. Choji hit them in the air. Asuma-sensei will take care of the rest. Naruto said. Everyone but Anko and Baki looked at Naruto like he was crazy, but Asuma used the substitution jutsu right before the shuriken chains ever touched him. Naruto caught this with his Namigan he activated before the whole thing started, and Baki and Anko are both jonin who easily caught this. Though Baki was surprised that Naruto caught on that fast, he didn't think the little runt would know, but he took into consideration that he was the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox like Gaara is of the one-tailed raccoon dog. But even Gaara didn't pick it up that fast, but he knew Asuma couldn't be taken down by some missing Chunin nin. What are you talking about? Asuma-sensei is dead, how can you say? Hell, no started before. Bam. It was Asuma who clotheslined the two nin into the ground, cracking a few ribs in the process. Hey Asuma-sensei, but how we saw you get cut up to pieces from their shuriken chain. Ino said in disbelief. Naruto, you can everyone since you saw the whole thing with your Namigan. Asuma said, turning it over to Naruto, who explained everything. What happened was there was a puddle back there and I knew some weird shit was up because it hasn't rained in weeks, right? Naruto started getting nods from the genin. Well, I looked at Asuma, who also noticed this and nodded at me. From there I activated my Namigan and got ready for what was to come, but apparently Shikamaru caught this nod to me and he caught on pretty fast. From there those two dumbasses, Naruto said before getting cut off by one of the demon brothers. Hey, watch a kid, I'll. Shut up unless you're spoken to, Naruto said, making some of the genin to laugh, and even Baki was amused with how Naruto held himself, and of course Anko was rolling on the floor, dying of laughter her nephew can give her at times. Anyways, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Those two dipshits came out of the puddle, and Asuma-sensei used the substitution jutsu and let Shikamaru and I handle the rest. Good job by the way, Shika. Naruto said, smiling at the rest of the genin who were very impressed, especially one future Temari Uzumaki. Thanks, Naruto, but what was that jutsu you used? I've never heard of it. Cloud style. I've never heard of it. Shikamaru said. Cloud style is a form of fire style jutsu that is a kinjutsu or forbidden jutsu. How Naruto got his hands on that is beyond me, but he already knows another one since he was 3 years old. In fact, he learned it the first day Kakashi trained him. Asuma said. And that would be Ino said, dragging out the last part. My favorite two jutsus, of course, the shadow clone jutsu and the multi-shadow clone jutsu. Naruto said, smiling. I've never heard of this jutsu, Asuma-sensei. Choji said. Shadow clone and multi-shadow clone are Jonin to cage level jutsus, since Naruto's chakra reserves are 4 times higher than that of Kakashi, which is just unfucking believable. He doesn't have the chakra control for a normal clone jutsu. Basically, he would have to channel almost no chakra in his case to perform this, and even then it might come out as a bust because he would need precise chakra control. But he can use the shadow clone jutsu without a problem because they were meant for those with high chakra reserves, but there is a drawback to the multi-shadow clone jutsu. Anko started. A drawback, like what, Anko-sensei? Temari asked. Well, if you use the multi-shadow clone jutsu too much you can have fatigue from chakra loss, or as we call it, chakra exhaustion. Not only that, but it tears away at the muscles every time you use it. So you have to make sure you give at least 2 weeks in between each time you perform this jutsu, but in Naruto's case that could be different. Speaking of which, Naruto, when was the last time you used this? I need to know so I can determine whether or not you can or should use it right now. Anko said. I don't remember the last time I used it, to be honest, Anko-sensei. Naruto said. You used it at midnight when you woke up all of a sudden, Baka. Temari yelled at him. Oh right, forgot about that. Naruto said, scratching the back of his head. Ugh, you are such a baka. Temari said. Don't be like that, Tima-chan. Naruto said, trying to get Temari to calm down. Don't be like what? You're being such a baka. She kept on going. Yeah, but guess what, I'm your baka, remember that, my Sandheim. Naruto said, smiling at that last comment he made. I know, Narukun, you're my baka like I'm your Sandheim. Temari said, hugging Naruto, then giving him a quick kiss. Alright, now that we have this out of the way, Mr. Tazuna, we need to have a talk. Asuma said, narrowing his eyes. Sure, but let me ask you this. Tazuna said. Go ahead. Asuma replied. Why did you let the genin handle this when you could have done it by yourself? Tazuna questioned. Because I needed to see something. I needed to know who their target was. I needed to see whether it was ninja attacking ninja or if they were after a target like you, so I let myself be captured and performed the substitution. Then I got the image of who their target was, you, Tazuna. Asuma said, glaring at Tazuna. Team 10 had never seen Asuma angry, so they were a bit frightened by the sight. Why were they after you? A C-rank mission like this is usually when you ask for protection against robbers and muggers and the likes, not ninja. This makes this mission at least a B rank, which is for Chunin and Jonin only. But because the genin handled it so well, I will leave it up to them. Team 10 and Team Baki, since there are 7 of you, no matter which way you vote, it will be majority rules, so pick. Asuma said. Both Team 10 and Team Baki got in a huddle to discuss what their answer was, and they came to a conclusion real fast. We have all decided that we want to continue, Asuma-sensei. This may not be Team Baki's first mission, but it is ours, we must continue no matter what. Besides, you have to admit we kicked ass, and that was only 2 of us. Imagine if all 7 of us genin were to fight, or even all 10 of us, we could seriously kick some ass, even if they are missing nin of Chunin level or higher. Naruto said, giving a fox grin. Alright then, it's settled, we will continue this mission, but you will have some explaining to do, Tazuna. Anko said, glaring at him. I understand completely. Tazuna said. Chapter 6. Graduation, Homecoming, and Land of Waves Part 3. Naruto's team is confronted by Zabuza Mamachi. The Jonin are rendered immobile and tell the genin to run, but they stay and fight. Once they beat Zabuza, Haku comes in and takes him away. Tazuna is led home, and Inari confronts Naruto, pissing him off and leading Naruto to train for many hours. Once the bridge is almost complete, Zabuza fight the team again and is killed by Gato's men. The team returns home where Temari's team stays until the Chunin exams. Naruto's team was walking towards a port that would lead them to the Land of Waves. After the team is within a few miles of the port, the team is confronted by Zabuza Mamachi. Zabuza throws his sword into a tree and reappears on his sword. "Who's the mummy freak?" Kankram said as he started to walk up to face him before Naruto stuck his arm out, explaining who this was. "Wait, Kankram, he's not like the other two ninja we faced. Compared to them he's in a whole nother league," Naruto said. "So what, who is he?" Kankram replied. "Zabuza Mamachi, one of Kiri's 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, and to top things off he's a missing ninja of Jonin level. So basically he could kick the demon brother's ass in his sleep. And to answer any questions about the swords you have, its name is Kubikuramjm. It's pretty much a big ass butcher knife," Naruto said. "So what if he's Jonin missing nin? I'm gonna kick his ass," Kankram said. "No, Kankram, let the Jonin handle this, we must protect Izuna, that is our mission. Period," Naruto said, glaring at Kankram and activating his Namigan. "Fine, I'll let Baki-sensei and the others handle them," Kankram said, trudging back to the group. "You seem to know a lot about me, kid, tell me, how do you know so much about me?" Zabuza asked. "Before we got this mission I studied famous people from Kiri and around Kiri, you just happened to catch my eye, so I studied you up," Naruto said. "Why thank you, but you will all die, for I am the," Zabuza said before getting cut off by Naruto waving his comment off. Yeah, you're the demon of the mist or bloody mist, master of the silent kill," Naruto said, acting unimpressed. This angered Zabuza, so he jumped down with his sword to the group to face off the 3 Jonin. Asuma pulled out his trench knives, while Anko and Baki got into a stance ready for the fight. Zabuza performed the hidden mist jutsu, shrouding the whole area in a thick fog, making it hard to see anything at all. Ino started to get nervous, and Asuma could feel her chakra fluctuating and said one thing, "Ino, calm down, you will not die. I will not let my comrades die. I promise," Asuma said. Ino started to calm down at this and started to focus once again. "You're wrong. You will all die," Zabuza said, appearing in between the Genin and Tazuna. Naruto turned around with his Namigan activated and noticed that this was not the real Zabuza and pulled out his twin katanas and stabbed him, revealing it to be a water clone. The water clone dispersed and the real Zabuza was right behind Naruto. "Naruto, behind you!" Tamari screamed, but it was too late. Zabuza swung Kubikuramjm and cut him in half. "Naruto!" Tamari screamed but stopped only to find out that it was a water clone. Naruto played Zabuza right in his hands. When Naruto turned around to see Zabuza, it was the actual one for a split second before he performed a handless water clone and substituted with it. Using his Namigan, Naruto saw right through his plan and had an immediate response. "I may just be a genin, but I'm gonna make you work your ass for this win, which won't happen. I have too much to fight for to let you win, Zabuza. Your life ends right here, right now," Naruto said with one katana behind Zabuza's back and the other ready to slit his throat. Everyone just stood in shock, thinking that they just saw Naruto go down, but he was there in the living flesh. "You think I'm that stupid, kid?" said another Zabuza, which was the real one. The real Zabuza swung his sword and Naruto dodged it in time but felt a few hairs had cut off his head. Damn, that was too close for comfort, Naruto thought. Naruto kicked the real Zabuza and his water clone into the water and waited to see what would happen next. Next thing you know, Zabuza and 3 water clones jumped out of the water and 3 of them got behind the Jonins and kicked them into the water where the real Zabuza was waiting for them to surface. Once they did, Zabuza's water clones got right behind them and simultaneously said the same jutsu, water style. Water prison jutsu. The 3 Jonin were immediately caught up in a ball of water, with the water clones using one hand to keep them there while the real one was behind his clones. "Damn it, what the hell do we do?" Shikamaru said, getting frustrated. "Easy," Naruto said, stepping up. "Huh?" Shikamaru said, looking up to see Naruto step forward. "Gaara and I will handle them," Naruto said, grinning. "No. Protect the bridge builder and get the fuck out of here," Anko screamed. "What do you have in mind, Naruto Uzumaki?" Gaara said in his monotone voice. "I need to speak to Shukaku. You think you can release the seal enough to let him talk to me?" Naruto asked while Tamari and Kankram looked on and thought that that was the single most stupid thing you could ask for, but they shut their mouths and just waited to see what Naruto had in store for them. "Why, he'll take over my body," Gaara said, still using the same voice. "I have a plan, so let me talk to him now," Naruto said, putting extra emphasis on the last part. Gaara did what he was told and Kankram and Tamari thought Gaara would have killed Naruto right there on the spot, but he didn't, to their surprise. "What can I do for you, kid?" Shukaku asked Naruto. "I need you and Kurama to come up with a way for us to defeat the 3 water clones. Any ideas or jutsu you can let us use to take care of them?" Naruto asked. "Let me talk to Kurama, I may have an idea," Shukaku said to Naruto. "Hey Kurama. What do you want, Shukaku?" Kurama asked, annoyed. "The kids, they need our power and I think they should learn a combo technique to win this fight." "And why should we do that?" Kurama said, getting annoyed. "We need them to stay alive and if they die so do we. So what do you say?" Fine, I'll do it, what the technique they should do. Demon art. Jinchuriki's ultimate tailed beast ball. Are you fucking insane? That could kill the kids, are you trying to get me to die an early death you bastard? Kurama spat, giving Shukaku his full attention. Just get Naruto in a shroud of your chakra and I'll do the same for Gaara, from there we tell them what to do and help them gather the chakra needed for this. Fine, but you know they will only have 3 to 4 moves after this if they don't die right. I know Gaara should be fine, and I know Naruto will be as well. Naruto and Gaara had their eyes closed, and when they opened they had their tailed beast's eyes and red chakra surrounding each one of them. Naruto raised his right hand while Gaara raised his left, and they charged up their tailed beast ball until it was the size of a house. When they were ready, they yelled out the jutsu, demon art. Jinchuriki's ultimate tailed beast ball. They threw it straight at the clones with Naruto and Gaara following close behind to get their senseis when they released the water prison jutsu. The 3 clones jumped out of the way of the oncoming attack, freeing the Jonin. Naruto grabbed both Anko and Asuma before the tailed beast ball could hit them, and Gaara grabbed Baki, and they shunshined out of the way just in time before the tailed beast ball slammed into the next quarter mile's worth of trees before vanishing. Naruto and Gaara set down their senseis, and they were exhausted, they only had a couple moves left, so Naruto made it count. Shikamaru now. Right shadow possession jutsu. Success. Shikamaru said, capturing the real Zabuza and his clones in his family's jutsu. Naruto got rid of the clones with his swords of Kami and was about to kill Zabuza before he was hit with Senbon needles, and everyone looked back at Shikamaru for an explanation, and he said, "Don't look at me. I had nothing to do with that." He said, putting his hands up in defense and releasing the jutsu, allowing Zabuza to fall to his face. Naruto noticed a person in a tree branch and knew it was him or her that threw the Senbon needles. Anko checked for vital signs but got nothing. He's out, there are no vital signs. Thank you for fighting Zabuza for me. I have been searching for him for some time now. The mystery person said. From the looks of it you're from Kiri, tell me what is your position exactly? Anko asked. I am a hunter nin from Kiri, like I said I have been tracking Zabuza for a long time now, thank you for your help. The mystery person said, sunshining to Zabuza, then sunshining away. Come on, pant Anko sensei, pant Asuma sensei, pant, we have to keep moving. Naruto said, panting. You guys can go to my house for rest, then we can continue to the bridge so I can finish. Tazuna said. Sounds like a plan. Choji said. Right, let's keep mov. Naruto started before he collapsed on the ground from chakra exhaustion. Naruto? Tamari screamed as she rushed to his side to see him knocked out. Gaara said, taking a step forward before collapsing himself. Gaara. Conqueror yelled, damn it. He said. They must have used up all of their chakra in that last move. Anko said. Yeah, but for a Jinchuriki to pass out from chakra exhaustion, that move had to have taken everything out of them. Shikamaru said. Choji, take Naruto, Conqueror take Gaara, then get next to Tazuna while we make our way to the port, then his home. Asuma said. The group did what they were told and started to walk to the port that was only a 15-minute sprint from where they were. Once they got to the dock they found a man who was willing to take them across the water to the land of waves, but with the boat's engine cut off. On the boat to waves. Tamari was sobbing, hoping Naruto would wake up, but deep down, she knew it would take at least a week to fully recover. Thankfully he had Kurama helping him in the healing process. Inside Naruto's mind. Damn kid can't keep himself safe from danger, and I told Shukaku that this would happen if we pushed them too far, but no, don't take advice from the demon lord, Kurama thought, ranting on about pointless shit while healing Naruto at the same time. But this kid might get laid if he awakens early, and I would love to see the face of Makeup Boy and Shukaku's boy when they find Naruto fucking Tamari. Kurama said, laughing. Oh, haha, I'm such a fucking pervert. Kurama said, laughing in his cage. Back on the boat. Tamari was still staring at Naruto, whose head was in her lap, and she ran her fingers through his sun-kissed yellow hair and only thought about his well-being. Hey Tamari, Naruto will be alright, if we know him, he'll bounce back pretty soon, don't worry. You know as well as the rest of us that his tenant will get him up and running, same for Gaara. Ino said, giving Tamari a reassuring smile. Thanks Ino, it's just that I can't help but worry about him, even though I know everything will work out in his favor, he seems to have Lady Luck on his side anyways. Tamari said, smiling while still looking at her passed-out boyfriend-fiancé. Yeah, he sure does have luck on his side. I remember this one time he pulled some sort of prank with water balloons and managed to evade the Anbu that were looking for him. Turns out he was laughing his ass off on top of the fourth Hokage's head. Ino said, smiling, remembering that day like it was yesterday. Shikamaru and Choji even smiled, remembering that day as well. Yeah, Naruto always seems to make everyone happy when they're having a shitty day or can just bring a smile to people's faces. Even if they are pranks, people have to admit that they are funny as hell. Choji said, nearly laughing, remembering the time he painted the Hokage's faces, and Kakashi ended up finding him after the Anbu couldn't find him for 2 hours. What's so funny, Choji? Tamari asked, wanting to know what was going on in the Akimichi's brain. She thought it was food, but she was surprised with the answer she got. Nothing really, I just remembered the day when everything in the village was going wrong and Naruto decided to cheer up everyone but needed to pull off a prank that would get the attention of the entire village, and he did. He got paint and painted the Hokage's faces and had Anbu tracking his ass down and couldn't find him, but Kakashi found him in an instant. The people were mortified at first, but then saw the joke in it and the whole village's mood lightened up a bit. Even the Hokage noticed this and didn't punish him. He actually thanked him for doing that. Choji said, grinning. He thanked Naruto for doing something like that. But that doesn't sound like the Naruto I know. Tamari said, not believing what she was hearing. That's the thing about him, when he's around you he has a loving attitude and protective one of you. With everyone in our group including the Jonin and Chunin he kicks back and has fun. When he's around Sasuke and Sakura he ignores them entirely, and well, in battle, he's 100% focused on coming out as the victor. You see, he is able to control many personalities at a time and keeps each one in check. Ino said, giving Tamari a huge smile. You remember the night at the pit, right? Shikamaru asked. Yeah, what of it? Tamari responded. Well, that was him being protective towards you. He made a promise that whenever you came back to live with us that he would protect you with his life no matter what, that included people insulting you. That was one of his attitudes that can surface with him. You noticed how his mood changed to being happy after he got back to the table. Well, that would be because he could relax again being surrounded by those that are precious to him, as he says. All he wants to do is make those around him happy even if it gets him in trouble, which never fucking happens. Shikamaru said, making everyone laugh softly as they listened on to the conversation that started out with only Ino and Tamari, but eventually the whole boat was listening on. I'm just happy he's in my life again. Tamari said, still looking down at Naruto and stroking her hand through his hair, and thought, he looks so peaceful like this. It's actually kind of cute to see him like this, though I don't want him to be knocked out all the time. Alright everyone, we made without anyone detecting us. Well, this is as far as I go. Tazuna, good luck and finish this bridge to free us. The boat owner said before turning on his engine and leaving the group on the dock. Well, thanks for the help, my house isn't too far from here, you guys can rest up for the day, you deserve it, especially those two. Tazuna said, looking at a passed out Naruto and Gaara. Alright, I'll give directions and you guys just keep doing what you do best. Tazuna said, grinning. Time skipped 20 minutes. The group arrived at Tazuna's house, which was a bit of a little thing. It was a 2-story house on the water, think of houses on wooden stilts to be held up. It had some windows, and since it was elevated you could fish right off one of the rails. Once they got inside the house they heard footsteps run down the stairs, and it ended up being a young girl around 25 years old. She had violet-colored hair and wore a pink shirt. Doji put Naruto in one room along with Naruto's stuff in one room, while Kankram put Gaara in another room with their stuff and Baki's stuff in it. Tamari swung by Naruto's room and threw her stuff in it. Asuma threw his stuff in another room and had Shikamaru and Choji throw their stuff in the same room. Anko and Ino would stay with each other. The group of ninja minus the 2 Jinchuriki were eating dinner with Tazuna and Tsunami when Tsunami's son Inari walked in after they were talking about Zabuza not being dead because hunter nins get rid of what they need to from the bodies and then go and burn them. Okay, so if Zabuza is alive, what do we do? I mean, it's not like we know where Gato is hiding or even Zabuza. Kankram said. That's true, but when Zabuza returns I believe Gato will be there to either see for himself if Zabuza kills us or if he stabs Zabuza in the back and hires thugs to kill not only him but us as well. Anko said. You're all going to die if you try to fight Gato. Inari said as he walked in on everyone minus the Jinchurikis talking. Oh yeah, and why's that, brat? Anko said, growling. Because my dad was the toughest one in the land and tried to go up against Gato and he died. Inari yelled, starting to form tears in his eyes. Hey kid, what's this in my hand? Naruto said from behind Inari, making everyone's eyes grow wide, seeing Naruto up after being passed out only 12 hours ago. A katana. Inari replied, shivering with fear. That's right, a leaf ninja and his katanas are the baddest shit-kicking weapons in the world. Naruto said, grinning before Tamari tackled him. Oh my gosh Naruto, how are you up so fast? You should still be in bed resting for another 5 days at least. Tamari said, hugging Naruto to death. Easy Tamari, you don't want to kill him before you two get married. Ino said, laughing. Married? You two are getting married. But you two are so young, when the hell did this happen? Tazuna said. Well, you see, 6 years ago Hokage-sama invited myself along with Shikamaru and Choji here for a meeting and he brought along Kiba and Shino, who are my friends, and brought Sasuke. Kazuki-sama was coming to see who would marry my Sandheim to strengthen the relationship between our two villages. Each of the males had to introduce themselves and tell what type of training they had done. No one had really done any, except for Shikamaru, Sasuke and I. Shikamaru had some training done, but apparently Sasuke did more. So Kazuki-sama was about to pick Sasuke before Hokage-sama reminded him about me not introducing myself. So Kazuki-sama agreed and I introduced myself, and I blew Sasuke's ass out of the water. Naruto said, leaning back in his spot and eating some fish. Really, you blew his ass out of the water? Tazuna said with a hint of doubt in his voice. Yeah, anyways I beat out Sasuke for Tima-chan's hand in marriage. Sasuke was pissed, so he challenged me to my first fight in the Hokage's office. Everyone gave us room and he charged with his first attack. I dodged his attack and got behind him, then I performed one of my favorite techniques. Naruto said, grinning. And what would that technique be, kid? Tazuna asked. Leaf Village Secret Finger Jutsu 8,000 Years of Death. Naruto said, going through the motions of that day. Not bad, kid, so what are you now in your jutsu styles? Tazuna asked. Well, Asuma and Anko-sensei know that for a fact. Senseis, if you would be so kind as to tell our client and everyone else my rankings. Naruto said. Well, if I had to guess I'd say you would be around low to mid jonin, which is fucking impressive for a kid who took down another jonin with the help of another like you, and this is your first mission, whereas Gaara's team has been on around 20 missions, one of them being a B-ranked mission. Anko said. Yeah, I would agree with Anko on your ranking. Ever since Kakashi started training you at 3 years old you've only been going up, you've never had a down moment until recently when you passed out. Asuma said. Aw, shut up Asuma-sensei, hahaha. Anyways, kid, like I said a few minutes ago, a leaf ninja and his katanas are the baddest shit-kicking weapon in the world. Naruto said, grinning at Inari. So you're saying you're the baddest shit-kicking weapon in the world? Inari asked. You got it. I'm gonna become the strongest ninja in the world, and when I do I'm gonna make sure the Leaf Village and Waves become allies. How's that sound? Naruto said, still smiling at Inari. Inari smiled at Naruto's proposal and gave him a response. Yeah, you become the strongest ninja ever, then you come back. That means you can't forget us. Inari said, smiling back at Naruto. Tsunami was smiling, seeing her boy in better spirits than he usually was. She also noticed that Naruto only had on his black compression shirt on, think of the ones that Under Armour has for winter but short sleeves, and saw how ripped he was for his age, and started to get turned on a bit. The last time she ever had a man in her life was Inari's birth father. She's been in a sexual slump ever since Inari was born, that was the last time a man had his way with her. She quickly excused herself and left to her room to take care of some business. I'm sorry, but I think I'm going to turn in for the night. Good night everyone. Tsunami said as she got up and quickly went to her room and masturbate while she still had the picture of Naruto in her mind. She came 3 times before she passed out from exhaustion and started to dream about Naruto dominating her and him spraying his cum in her and getting her pregnant. Hey, Sandheim. Naruto said, motioning his head towards the forest, letting Tamari know he wanted to talk to her alone or something else. Okay, I'm coming, Golden Fox-kun. Tamari said. Once the two were outside and they closed the door, Tamari led Naruto towards the forest swaying her hips, and Naruto obviously caught this and thought this one thing to himself, thank Kami, I got to be with this babe. Best ass I've ever seen, even better than Anko-chan's or Kurenai-chan's. Not weird because Kurenai isn't related to him in any way, remember that. And her breasts are so damn nice and full, they may not be bigger than Kurenai and Anko-chan's, considering Anko has the biggest in the village, and Kurenai has the second biggest that can put up a challenge with Anko's, but damn they're the best. And that face fucking breaks the scale 100 out of 10, Naruto thought, almost jizzing in his pants. Naruto was smiling at how fucking lucky he got with Tamari. And Tamari was happy in her own right. If Naruto hadn't come into her life, there probably wasn't a boy with the balls to ask her out, considering who her family is, and that Gaara is the village's Jinchuriki. Tamari led Naruto to a tree where Naruto sat down, and Tamari laid down on top of his lap, where Naruto unsealed a blanket and threw it over the two of them, and sat in peace looking up at the stars, before Tamari decided to break the silence hanging over their heads. Hey, Naruto, I need to ask or tell you something. Tamari said, looking over her shoulder and up at Naruto. What would that be, Tima-chan? Naruto asked, looking down at Tamari. Well, I know that you're a strong ninja and all, but I'm worried about something bad happening like what happened against Sabuza. Naruto, you could have died, and if you did. Tamari said before starting to sob. I wouldn't be able to live sniff without you. Tamari finished sobbing into Naruto's chest. Naruto wrapped his arms around Tamari and rested his head on top of hers before he gave her his response. I know that you're worried about me getting hurt or worse, but I won't die until I become Hokage. And I promised the old man that he would live to see the day we get married, have kids, and I become Hokage myself. He promised me to see those things happen before he dies, and I promised to make those things become a reality, and I will. Naruto said, smiling down at Temari, who was now looking up at him, amazed at how he made such a promise and amazed at how confident he was to go through with this promise. And one more thing, and I really want this to happen in case we fight Zabuza again and something happens. Temari said, trying to be as serious as she could be. And what would that be, Tima-chan? Naruto asked, looking into her eyes, giving her his full attention. Do want you to take me right now. Temari said, staring dead into Naruto's eyes. And Naruto had a look of shock on his face. He would have expected her to ask him to do a favor. Well, I guess this could be a favor. Maybe or maybe not, but no, she comes out of the blue saying she wants to fuck him, and by the way she's saying it, she really wants him inside of her, pleasuring her. Are you sure you want this, Temari? Naruto asked. Of course I do, Naruto. Why do you not want to be a father? Temari said with a sad look on her face. No, I really do want to be a father. It's just that I mean, if I get you pregnant you'll have to sit out of the exams for the baby's sake, and I know how much you want to participate in these exams. Naruto said, showing how worried he was for her if she did indeed get pregnant. Don't worry, Baka. I already took the pregnancy test, so I won't be able to get pregnant, which means Temari started before she leaned in next to Naruto and whispered something that sent shivers down his spine. You can kuman me all you want, and I know you have a ton of kum in those balls of yours. So what do you say, would you take my virginity away, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze? Temari said with a lust-driven grin. As long as you, Temari Uzumaki Namikaze, take my virginity away. Naruto replied, sending shivers down Temari's own spine before she nibbled on his earlobe, getting a moan from him and then kissing him on the lips. I would be honored. Now let's go somewhere a little more private and away from the house. If we did it out here, everyone could see us butt naked fucking like rabbits. Temari said before she and Naruto jumped away to go have some fun. If only Jiraiya was here, he could sure use this as material for his next Icha Icha book. But alas, he isn't, so no material for him. -5 minutes later, 1/2 mile from the house. Time skip to battle at bridge 1 week after first encounter with Zabuza. Well, look what we have here, Haku. The team decided to go through with their mission to keep the bridge builder safe. Alright Genin, listen up. The three of us Jonin will take on Zabuza, the rest of you handle Haku and protect the bridge builder. Asuma said in serious tone, pulling out his trench knives. The Genin all surrounded Tazuna while the Jonin stepped up to face Zabuza. Haku charged the Genin while Zabuza charged the Jonin and swung Kubikarubm at them. Naruto and Temari stepped up for their fight against Haku while the rest of the Genin protected Tazuna. Haku immediately went to work using his Kekkei Genkai of Ice-style jutsus. Ice-style. Crystal Ice Mirror's secret jutsu. But this jutsu, there were sheets of ice that all had Haku in them, but in reality all but one were reflections, and they created a dome making sure they couldn't escape. Toji, Ino, try and melt the ice so I can catch that faggot. Shikamaru yelled. Right. They both said. Fire style. Grand Fireball Jutsu. They both yelled out and 2 huge fireballs came rushing at the ice mirrors. Haku defended himself by going through the following hand signs: tiger, snake, rat, snake, tiger, water style. Water wall jutsu. A huge wall of water came rushing out of Haku's mouth, causing the collision of both fire and water to create steam. Once both jutsus died down and the steam cleared out, Shikamaru saw that the attack was ineffective and cursed under his breath. Shikamaru tried coming up with an idea to break into the ice mirror dome, but his options were very limited as to what he could do, and even smaller when Haku could disrupt to destroy his plans. Naruto and Temari weren't doing all that well either, with Haku jumping around the mirrors Temari could hit him with, and Wind Jutsus, and Naruto couldn't keep up with how fast Haku was, and to top that off, the 2 blondes are being bombarded with Senbon needles. Round after round getting bashed with Senbons really started to piss off Naruto, so he resorted to use his family's Dojutsu, the Namagen. Naruto closed his eyes and channeled chakra into his eyes, then opened them to show that his cerulean ocean blue eyes changed to their aqua color. Now Haku seemed to be going in slow motion, as Naruto could easily track Haku's movements and take him down. But that being said, Naruto jumped and grabbed Haku in the throat while he was on his way to another mirror, then slammed him down, creating a decent-sized crater on the bridge. Jonin vs Abusive fight. Same time as everything going on with the Genin. Anko, get ready to use one of your stronger fire jutsus, then Baki back her up with a wind-style move to increase the flames. Asuma said, holding up his trench knives, channeling wind chakra into them, making his favorite weapon glow blue. Alright, let's kill this motherfucker and get back to the Genin fire style. Great Dragon Flame Jutsu. Yelled Anko as she started to breath out a dragon made out of fire, and Baki started up with his wind style move. Wind style. Wind sword. Baki yelled, throwing a sword made of wind that was almost invisible into Anko's attack, making it twice. Asuma followed close behind the combo attack, ready to cut Zabuza down to size, but Zabuza went through 44 hand seals right in front of their eyes and yelled out his jutsu as he ended with the bird seal, water style. water dragon jutsu. And then a dragon made of water erupted from the water below the bridge and met the dragon made of fire head-on. That a cloud of steam 3 times bigger than the one with the genin was created, but Asuma still charged in hoping for a sneak attack, and he did get Zabuza slashing him across the chest with his wind chakra and not the actual blade itself. Fuck, I missed. Asuma said, engaging in a kinjutsu fight with Zabuza using his fucking huge butcher knife against what seemed extremely small trench knives. This went on for a few minutes before both supercharged their weapons with their chakra and slammed their own weapon into the other's sweat spot, forcing the two back, and the two were panting from going all out on each other. Both Asuma and Zabuza were starting to get tired of fighting each other before Anko stepped up with a kunai in her hand ready to fight. Zabuza smirked at this and invited her to try to land a blow on him. Anko took this as a challenge and ran in head-on. "I'll kill you, you son of a," she yelled. Back with Naruto and Temari's fight. Haku had gotten up after getting pummeled into the ground, literally, by Naruto's shadow clones. Haku managed to get off the same jutsu he used last time, except this set of ice mirrors was outside the original. With this being done, Haku made the original set of mirrors into small ice enbans and got ready to throw them at the blondes, wanting to end the battle quickly to help out Zabuza. "Shit, Team Aheim, get down now and protect yourself," Naruto yelled as Haku sent his barrage of ice needles to Naruto, which got him everywhere. Naruto's eyes went wide before he started to fall over and land on the ground, crushing some of the needles, but ultimately fell still. "Naruto. Please no, Naruto, come on, stay with me," Temari yelled, starting to cry, while Naruto's best friend's eyes went wide with fear of what was going on inside. "Hima-chan, if I don't make it." "Shut up, you'll make it," she yelled back. Naruto put his right hand up to her left cheek and she held it there while he spoke to her. "If I don't make it, my Haim, I want you to find love in someone again. Please promise me this before I leave this world and join my parents. Please, Temari Uzumaki Namikaze, promise me," Naruto said as his breath started to slow down. "Damn it, fine, but you'll live, you've been through worse," she replied as she captured his lips for what could end up being the last time. Naruto responded, but it was short-lived as he soon stopped responding to her kiss. She could feel the warmth in his body vanish, and it felt as if the world grew colder at that moment. "Naruto, please come back to me," Temari yelled, trying anything to get him to respond, but nothing was working. He was just lying there as dead as a doornail. What if Naruto chose kurenai instead of Kakashi for training? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like if you guys need the next part, comment down, and thanks for watching the video and see you guys in the next video.